All right, welcome to the Oh None Demand Everything podcast. I got one of my brothers, one of my friends, life coach Jeff.
Yes, sir. What's up, big dog? How you feeling?
What's going on?
Man, forgive me, man. Like,
He's
man, look, when I stepped into the here, I've seen the transformation, people. I'm just letting y'all know. My man here he dope. He that nigga. Okay.
Man,
All right. I just had to say that.
I'm glad you liked. I wanted to make sure the place was right.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? Because you did, like I said, you did see the transition and transformation and the process.
Mm-hmm.
The process was definitely no joke.
Definitely.
And but I have my standards and stuff like that. When
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something, I'm either gonna do it all the way or don't do it at all.
Yes, sir.
So I definitely wanted not just a place for me, but a place for for we.
Definitely.
So it's definitely a pleasure to have you back on again, and this is actually really the official time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just want to get right into it. I see you've been doing a lot of different things. Of course, I know, but let the people know who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, what's your objectives, and what's your life mission.
Yeah, man. Well, that was great. That was great, man. Normally, you got to understand, man. Normally, I'm the one that's doing the interview.
Right.
So when I'm getting asked these
We
questions,
switching
I'm like,
roles
whoa,
right
whoa.
now. We switching
Hold up.
roles right now.
Exactly. I'm like, I should be over there. No, it's not. But it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, man. And I'm just a brother who, I started this life coaching thing in 2019. And I didn't kind of know where the direction was going to really go with it. I had a lot of people sitting up here telling me, how you going to do it? How you going to blah, blah, blah. Well, I think you should do this. And I had to get to a point to where I said, no, I have to complete this vision all on my own. So the whole Life Coach Jeff thing is also behind the brand Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. We focus on shifting the mindset, self-awareness, and call to action. And it's with those three things, like I always say, dog, you could change. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You won't get held back.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling you that it's all an encompassing thing. And these are things that I live by. These are three monikers that I live by. I always said to myself, dog, I wouldn't want to teach somebody something that I'm not doing myself.
Exactly.
Because if you live in it, it makes more sense for you to get it out, and people will follow you because of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the whole thing, yo. And I'm on a radio show now with Biggs Radio. I have my own radio station, talk radio station, R3 Radio. You can go on online radio box and listen to it. Just type in R3 and then boom, it'll be the first thing that come up. But yeah, man, we just moving in radio and entertainment. I'm trying to link up with more high-profile people. I'm trying to, like I told you earlier before we even got on, I'm trying to make my mark.
So it's been, maybe, has it been 6 months that passed?
Since I was over here, right?
Yeah.
I kind of think that was. I think that was about 6 months, bro.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I went back to the drawing board,
Yeah.
and you went back to the drawing board. So what's been going on your side? You know what I'm saying, as far as how's your process been looking?
It's very strategic. Very strategic.
Gotta be.
What I've been trying to do is I'm trying to look at who I'm linked up with and why I'm linked up with them. So I'm asking myself, okay, why am I either part of this group, entity, these people, and what are we pushing? So the big thing was me getting into this a certain network. It's called I call it the Shop Talk 7 Network because they're a big group when we start talking about the artistry of everybody in Chicago. I'm talking about R&B singers, rappers. I'm talking about people who do video, production, DJs. Even when we start talking about some of the people who've been around, like Shy Blizz, we start talking about Shondell. I met Stoney Staples what was that? Just on Saturday. We had our event, he came on through. So it's meeting these people, taking some lessons from them. Even from Dinah Lynn, when I'm on her station for Biggs Radio. It's stuff that she's showing me that I can implement, that I can do. So when I just take these keys and I put them together, I see how it's fitting me. So this means I'm trying to market myself a certain way. My business cards have been a step up. Even the one for R3, I just did a photo shoot, brother. I did shoot. Ones for R3, they about to be hitting.
So you want to put that money up,
brother? And y'all, I want to let y'all know that's what it takes. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. Like, I know y'all hear that junk all the time. But you have to really get to a point to when you asking yourself, how bad do I want my vision?
Mm-hmm. And how much do you want people to take your vision serious?
That's good. Because the thing is, man, I run into so many people who saying, well, I do this and I do that. And that's no knock to them. You know what I mean? Because we all have a starting point.
Yeah.
But let's put it like this. I wasn't making it seem like my stuff was bigger than what it was when I started. You know what I mean? When I said I was doing it, I was doing it.
Right.
I wasn't lying about that. But we had stepping stones.
Yeah.
You know, we had to get to a point to where I did all the research. I found out the mics that I wanted to use, the certain type of headphones, a certain type of mixer, how I wanted my camera setup to be, kind of like how yours, exactly how yours is set up here. It takes time to tweak these angles to try to get people's good side, to make sure that even, and you know how my show is, man, I manually switch my stuff as I'm going.
So yeah.
So I ain't got nobody behind the camera, so it's gotta be perfect.
Yeah, and designed based upon your circumstance and your situation.
There it is.
You know, and that's everything. Are you a one-man army?
Come on.
Are you a two-man army?
Yeah.
Is it a group? You know, if you dolo, you really got to be on.
Oh, bruh.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So you really got to be strategic. You really have to be, you know, skilled.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to understand exactly what you're doing to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Oh yeah.
I think there is a false narrative when it comes to certain things, as far as the slogan, like starting from the bottom.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel you on that.
because you know, if I had taken certain advice from particular people, whatever, that was paying attention to the process.
Yeah.
They would say like, oh, don't be so hard on yourself, or just use what you got and blah blah. I get that. I get that. I understand that. And you should use what you got to get what you want.
Definitely.
But the starting point should be your absolute best, though, right?
Now see, that's it, bro. Because
that don't mean just, you see what I mean?
I see exactly what you're saying, because people will literally come out with something and give you the bare minimum.
Yeah. And say, this all I got.
Yeah, saying that's all they got. No, that's not all you got.
No, that means that how can we put forth 100% into what we have right now?
That's it, bro.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Because my whole objective is, especially if I'm starting in a new league, this is a new league for me, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm starting in a new league, I'm paying attention. A person that's trying to win in a league has to pay attention to the players that's already in the league and the league itself.
Come on.
If you're not, how do you expect to win? You see what I mean?
Exactly.
So, especially in this type of industry, So my thing is, instead of jumping out with 50, I'd rather wait it out and come out with 100, or as close to 100 as possible.
Exactly.
I'd rather I want to start as close to the top as possible. I'm not starting from the bottom.
Exactly. And that's it, bro.
Why start at the bottom?
Because it's like, I understand what you're saying, because when I hit this network, I was already coming with the quality. And that's what you got to do. You already got to come to them with the quality.
Set the standard first.
Set the standard first. Like, I saw what everybody else was doing, but I'm like, no dig to my people. But I have a feeling that I can do this just a little bit better.
Why would you do it the exact same way?
Exactly.
On the exact same level.
Can't do it.
What's the point of doing it at that point? If you're going to do whatever you're doing, that a lot, especially if a lot of people are starting to do, why do it if you're not going to do it at a different level?
Exactly.
Or bring something different to the game, a new element, a new flavor, a new sound, a new look, something.
In real talk, these live shows, I be seeing y'all in the city. Y'all doing all these live shows, but y'all wasn't doing a lot of these live shows until we did it.
What you mean, like going live during
Like anybody, like what I mean is by going live, I'm talking about to the extent that we were doing it. Like to the point to where we were putting on a production. Like at the last event we did with Shondell at his King KC's birthday bash and his appreciation. What we did was we had a 3-camera setup, and we made sure we were switching back from them angles, but we were actually showing the show, speaking over it, giving the commentary, and interviewing.
That is hard.
Bruh.
That is very difficult.
Yes, it is.
That's a challenging.
Yes, it is.
You got to be set up right.
Yeah.
The team got to be on point.
Yep.
And it's a boom, 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 boom. Especially the biggest challenge I know is sound management.
Oh my gosh, boy! I didn't have struggles.
Sound management.
Because you can get the cameras right.
Yeah, you can get
But if people can't hear what you're saying,
well, it's
that's
two
the
different things. You
toughest
still probably dealing with sound,
Yeah.
sound management as well as light management. I can see. It
yeah,
depend
the
on-
light too. I can
yeah.
tell you that because every space is different.
Yeah,
You know, sometimes I tell people it's good to have a pair of LEDs,
100%.
and it's good to have some box lights
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you can offset the brightness or fill in some gaps when you
Mm-hmm.
have them together, or sometimes you just gonna need that joker to be bright.
100%.
So you pull out them LEDs and you going.
100%.
You know?
So what's been like your personal biggest challenges as it pertains to the building everything up as far as the radio show,
Yeah.
podcast, and the implementation of Life Coach Jeff as a whole, and R3.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this, man. It's being outside.
Because
the thing.
okay, so let me say, so when you say being outside, what
Yeah.
I'm thinking is okay, you trying to figure out how do you, Life Coach Jeff, play both the infield and the outfield,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Both the infield and the outfield. Because when I'm out, I'm on two different levels, okay? One is the networking tip,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the networking, you got to make sure you do that when you out.
Gotcha.
I sit up here, I look at my wife and say, babe, I'm not networking today. Psh, okay, no. I done sat up here and I done talked to, it maybe wasn't 10, 15 people, but I at least talked to 2 or 3 for that set.
You got to.
Because you have to.
Yep.
You know, if you want to be known, you have to make sure, and y'all, you are your only voice.
Mhm.
Like real talk, you can have some people, when you get to a place where people can speak for you in a room, and I can honestly say I've had people speaking up for me in rooms that I know I haven't been in.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to that point, I ain't saying it's at a high level, but you want to make sure it's happening enough to where you go to these places, people are looking after you.
Yeah.
Because
for
now
sure.
I used to beg people to be on my show. Now
Yeah.
people be like, oh, Life Coach Jeff, I got to get on your show.
Exactly. And that's how you want it.
Yeah, that's how you want it.
Because they see you out here.
That's it, bruh.
That's it.
And the second half of that, with the networking piece, is being aware.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing is, you can talk to anybody, but what you have to do is you have to figure out who the big fish are in the room.
Big fish, little fish.
Come on.
The whales, the sharks,
The
and the
sharks,
goldfish.
bruh. Because at the end of the day, the only and see, you taught me this very well, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You need to only be with the sharks. Like real talk.
Yeah.
And again, no shade to the
Mhm.
people that I know and people that are in this group, but
Mhm.
Life Coach Jeff is only really trying to deal with people who are really doing something,
You have to.
because
And not trying to do something.
and not trying, because
Two
you will
different
bring me
stages.
credibility. I will bring you more credibility with
Mhm.
my style of how I interview and how I bring you to life so people can see you in a different way. Because, see, you used to all this music and glamour and everybody gawking up. No, you come on my show, we gonna talk.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mhm.
I'm gonna make sure that whatever you trying to push for that hour or hour and a half, like I had Born Rich, me and that man was on for like 2 hours. Bro. That jump, it was wild. I ain't never done a show like that, and I probably won't do another show like that. 2 hours is a long time to be sitting in front of that mic. We had a lot to talk about, but it was taxing. Anyway, though, you just have to be sure that when you talking to these people, you bringing something out of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I can guarantee everybody who come on my show. You sit in the chair right next to me or across from me, I'm gonna bring something out of you.
Facts. That's absolutely. Yeah, you always had that thing, that the voice, the pitch, the ambition, the motivation, just the know-how on, I think motivating people as well as, like you say, bringing things out of them.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what having a great communication, great skills in communication, for sure. Let me see, what's been the biggest challenge, you think?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't look at anything. I try not to look at anything as a challenge.
Okay.
That's why I really can't answer that question real good for you or be really definitive with it, because when I look at something, like somebody told me having your own radio station was hard. What did I do? I went and I did it.
Yeah.
So where somebody took something and said, Jeff, this is challenging for you, I said, shit, no, it's not. I can get in there and I can manage it. Just because you can't manage your time, you don't know how to talk to people to get shows and other stuff. You don't know how to talk to people to really pique their interest. That doesn't mean that I can't do it.
Exactly.
So I don't accept challenge a lot of times.
Okay.
You know, I don't have any room to, because if I do, that means excuses. Knowing me, excuses will come into play. Stagnation will come into play. And we ain't got time for that, baby. We moving. The train is going to go whether you own it or not.
100%. The train must proceed.
I'm trying to tell you.
So you're from Chicago, right?
No, I'm not from Chicago. I'm from Maryville. Indiana.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Maryville, Indiana.
Okay.
Some people will say Gary.
Gary, okay. What inspired, like what created, when did Life Coach Jeff, when was he born?
Okay. I got something for that. I got, because you know what? I sat around one day and this was after I got divorced and everything. I told you about that. I got divorced. And when that happened, I was really looking for something. I said, you know what? I'm single. I'm by myself. I said, what is something that I can do now that'll focus on me and also set up my family? You know, because my grandmother had passed away too in 2019. And 2020. And when she passed away, I was like, okay, well, I always want to do something for the both of them, but what can I do for my grandfather now?
Yeah.
You know, that's my big motivation source.
Yeah.
And I look at everything he's done for me. So I said, okay, let me seek out my purpose. And that's when I started really diving into purpose, what could help me, how I can move. And that's when I stumbled upon the life coaching.
Gotcha. So is it mainly, is the main goal or target like children or adults?
You know what? I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me if I do life coaching with kids. And I do life coaching with some youth on Saturdays with Zetta Nicole girls. Shout out to Jennifer Williams out here.
Jenny.
Yes, Miss Jenny. Because, I help her out with her organization. And I didn't think I would be able to mentor young girls. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. And I say that only because I'm a man. You know, they need a woman, you know, somebody that they can really glean to and hold on to in that aspect of womanhood.
They need both.
And what I've realized is that they need me to give them the honest truth.
On the man's perspective.
That's what they need.
Yeah, because some of them, a lot of them probably don't have that.
Dog, I'm trying to tell you, like one instance, one of the girls, I guess she went through a little breakup with her boyfriend or whatnot. Or she wasn't trying to call him the boyfriend.
Right.
So I straight up told her, I said, girl, you got to listen to what you telling us and what he telling you. I said, he don't want you.
Right.
If he wanted you, he would be with you. Oh, man, when I tell you that, and that was one of the girls that's closest to me, too. Broke her heart, man. She was crying. I was just like, I wasn't trying to do you like that, girl, but I love you. You know, I'm trying to tell you the truth out here.
Right.
So but I'm realizing that that's what they need. You know, those are the little nuggets that kids get. So, if I'm going to tackle more kids, I would hope now that maybe in a little while I can be in a better position to life coach young men.
Okay.
Because I want to kind of and I want to focus more on men and then commingle the two together.
Gotcha.
With fathers and sons.
Okay, yeah, that'll definitely be beneficial.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How does life coach Jeff make it through? How do you make it through your tough times?
It's okay. We all have that voice in our head, right? And that voice is either going to be good or bad. And I can tell you for this year, I've been maybe at like 2 or 3 low points. It had to do with mostly job type stuff. But then I had to realize and say, you know what, bro? You a whole man out here. No, you are a problem solver. You are a thinker. What I quickly do is, when I'm faced with a tough time,
you remind yourself.
I remind myself of who I am,
exactly,
and what it is that I do, and the mission that I have to fulfill.
Exactly.
There's no way that I can allow something to fall because I'm looking at a particular circumstance, a situation is looking at me in the face, and really, big dog, it's not even that bad. I'm making it that bad because I'm putting my emotions, my feelings, my quote unquote traumas into that.
Emotional intelligence.
I'm trying to tell you, emotional intelligence, because bruh, I tell my wife this all the time, babe, sometimes you just gotta listen to what's being said and take out how you feel. Once I listen to what I say and I take out how I feel, I'm like, oh, nigga, this ain't nothing.
Separate the facts from the emotions
There it is.
related to the facts. And and you can better easily accept, acknowledge, and deal with whatever you need to deal with.
There it is.
And stop wasting time feeling and spend more time doing.
Yeah, come on, dog, because we waste a lot of time wondering, pondering, always trying to seek for the answer when 90% of the time, 90 to 100% of the time, the answer is already in your face.
Yeah. I mean, or it's inevitable. It is what it is. You feeling whatever way is not going to change it.
Exactly. It's not. Your feelings don't change nothing,
No.
but your actions change a hell of a lot.
It could help change the circumstance and change how you feel. So you might as well put that energy back into the action.
You know, I cuss every time on my show when I use the word accountability.
Accountability.
You know, people, I always see the numbers on the counter, y'all. I'll be watching y'all. I see the numbers on the counter. They up there, but then they trickle down a little bit when I say that word. I know y'all don't like it, but it's the truth.
Everybody's scared of that word.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. They run away from it.
Like what position did you play in the scenario? You know?
Exactly. I said, if I'm willing to point the finger, I have to be willing to pull back the thumb.
You have to, because you can't. You have to say it. There's always some type of responsibility.
Come on,
it's
dog.
always some
It's
type.
always there.
There's always some. You can't just say they did that, he did that, she did that. You still are the person that put yourself in this position and had the power to keep yourself in this position. So you had the power to remove yourself from this position.
That's what I'm talking.
You see?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
at the end of the day, you know, it always results to that. Now you feel some type, you get mad.
Yeah.
You got one day to be mad.
There you go.
A few hours.
There you go. Because you
know?
can still feel. Nobody said you still can't
Yeah,
feel nothing.
you're human. Okay.
Yeah, you human.
We're not saying
Exactly.
be human, but you cannot bury yourself in that.
Come
you
on,
know?
don't wallow in the mud.
Nah, come on,
Exactly.
come on now, and then not worse than that, repeating it over and over again,
Dog,
replaying it over and over again,
Bro.
reenacting it over and over again.
When I tell you, I have seen so many people just stay in that thing and go through the same
motion
over and over again.
With this person, that person, this person,
yes.
everything, because they gotta keep retelling the story over and over again.
Over and over again, dog. Over and over again. And I'm like, when are you gonna stop? Maybe you won't. You don't have to.
Because they become the emotion. They become addicted to the emotion.
Yes, and that emotion draws attention to them. So now they're an emotional attention seeker.
Yeah.
I listen. But if I'm gonna listen to you, for damn sure.
I will listen to
give you something.
I will give you the first time. You have my ear the first time.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's for free or you pay for it, right?
Facts. Yeah.
But if it's for the second time, you definitely need to pay for it. Because especially we already went over the scenario, the problem, and acknowledged the solution.
Exactly.
And you coming back disregarding the solution and the time that it takes to actually executing the solution to replay the emotion of it. We're not finna keep doing this again.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna keep doing this. And then some people actually redo the thing again. You know,
looking for a better result.
Oh no, you're not finna keep on doing this. Nah, I'm not.
Not at all.
I'm not qualified for that part.
Nah.
You know, we're here for people that's actually trying to make changes.
Exactly. And FYI, people, a life coach is gonna push you to complete a task and to move to the next one. So if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, that ain't on the coach.
That's not.
That's on you. We gave you the system.
You gotta do the work.
Come on.
You have to commit to it. All right. So do you today? So we are, of course, the Owe None Demand Everything podcast, but we on the Free Spirit Network. So today's Free Spirit of the evening is actually by Mrs. Stella Rose.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a non-alcoholic Stella Rose Black. So we're gonna crack this thing open.
Okay.
And Stella Rose is pretty popular, so I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you guys, you know, where to buy it at, but you do have to know where to buy the specific non-alcoholic Free Spirit versions. So this particular version is inside of your Myers grocery store.
Okay.
All right. So this is inside the they have their own little non-alcoholic section and stuff now. So definitely get your hands on this. So we're gonna actually try this. So I'll be trying this for the first time too as well. So let's crack this joint open.
Definitely. Let's get it.
Let's see. You ever mess with the regular Stella Rose?
I have.
Let's see. All right. Let's see.
And I enjoy it. Oh, I enjoy it. Oh, that's that hefty pour.
You know, got to, so we ain't got to keep repouring. You know.
We are gonna toast to this, and we will take. I'm not gonna take the sip separate.
And of course, the whole objective is and intent and purpose is to show people that hey, we can drink, but we can drink good. You know,
It is.
and there's always a balance in every aspect of life.
Yes.
So shout out to our Free Spirit makers and highlight for the day, which is that Stella Rose Black. Make sure you get your hands on Stella Rose Black. We finna take a sip of this right here.
Yeah.
And let you guys know what we think. Let me see here. Let's do the sniff test.
It was smelling good. I caught that whiff.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already did the toast. Do another toast.
So.
I don't know the difference, to be honest with you.
Mm-mm.
When it comes to this,
Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
It's reminds you of one of the sweeter wines that they have,
Mm-hmm.
but it still has a little tart bite to it.
Yep. Nice little sipper, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure y'all get y'all hands on that Stella Rose, y'all.
I'm gonna keep going.
Yes. Shout out to Stella Rose Black, and we will put links inside the description because I'm pretty sure they have somewhere online you guys can purchase those, since it is the Free Spirit world is still fresh to the world itself. So shout out to the Free Spirits out there. All right, so moving forward,
Sir.
future goals. Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go to some trending topics.
Ooh, okay. Trending topics.
You know, which
It's
one
good.
which one you want to start with? We got Diddy's in jail. We got baby oil all over the place.
Yeah, it's a lot of baby oil. 1,000 bottles or 1,000 cases. All I know is it was 1,000 in there. That's a lot. And it had a little sedative in that joker too.
That's what I heard.
By the time you got done, that sedative was near your booty. Oh,
Allegedly. That's what I heard.
I saw somebody walking. What was that reel when somebody was walking out the plane funny?
Oh,
One of his boys.
I don't know what that was.
Man, I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and he come off Diddy plane, and he was walking like a penguin out here.
Hey, did he do it? Did he do it, y'all?
You know, when it said, remember that video, the D, the I, the D, it said Diddy did.
Oh, see.
Go ahead and watch that video. You'll see what I'm talking about. He said P. Diddy did.
Hey, it's a lot of people going down right now. You know, they just got Durkio.
Uh-huh.
You know.
I saw that.
Yeah.
His boy was wearing a wire on him for years.
Yeah.
Years.
One of the goons.
Yeah.
Too.
My thing is when you have that, if anything, that has shown people, like, who can you really trust?
Trust.
Oh, yes. Trust.
Trustology. Make sure y'all get that book too. You know, Trustology on Amazon.
There you go.
Trust is circumstantial. Trust is earned.
Yeah.
And trust is like, especially like circumstantial, depending on like what world you in. You know, like what game you in. You see what I mean?
What game you playing? I understand.
There's no honor amongst thieves.
Mm-hmm.
If people understand that, you can't. It's certain people you might trust more within that realm, but it's still all circumstantial to a large degree, to the point where you really can't trust most people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Especially you know in that world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's too much involved. You know, so it's a lot of politics involved in that. But how I think everything is like a big conspiracy. It's like
I feel you on that.
They looking at Dirk as like a kingpin, right? Like literally.
Mm-hmm.
So they let one kingpin out that has influence over a particular gang, and then they simultaneously release another. Shout out to Big Meech from BMF.
Okay.
Now BMF didn't really rep any like gang per se, you know, but he was more so on the business side of things as far as in the streets, whatever like that. But he did have heavy influence, you know, in many gangs, especially the Gangster Disciples. Yeah, you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So politics is thin. I mean, thick. You know, so. And you never know what's really connected. But what I do know, what's in common with that situation, is that Dirk just literally did his acting debut on Power, right? Which is ran by 50,
Ooh.
and also affiliate with Big Meech. It's his story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna
so
some conclusions have been drawn. Some things have been said.
Hey, you ain't hear it from me though.
No.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
No.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
But
So
that was a damn good connection.
I'm just saying that's how I look at things. You see what I mean? Because they don't be trying to. They're careful with what sharks they let back in the water in certain waters.
Yeah, definitely.
You see what I mean? So all right, we gonna take this one and give y'all back this one.
Facts.
I ain't saying that's what happened.
But.
And why would y'all write him a script knowing who he is? In his first debut, he says the words, "Man, I'm mad y'all just not invite me. Y'all know we got the biggest drug and crime business in some shit like that."
Yeah.
Did you see that part?
Yeah.
Oh, did you actually see it?
I saw that.
Did you? When I seen that,
that makes some sense.
When I seen that, I didn't feel good. When I seen that, I'm like, something ain't right about that.
That's too close to real. Too close.
Bro, you don't look right saying it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound right saying it,
Mm-hmm.
and it ain't right saying it. You can't say that.
No, you can't. But he did.
You can't say that.
Mm-mm.
Implications.
Now you said that. That's true. Implications, dog. Because the thing is, it's so much it's so many things that are cryptic, you know? So many
and
things
symbolic.
Yes, cryptic
he
and symbolic.
Just got the key to the city.
Just got the key to the city.
That's a political move.
Yes, sir. That's a political
Do you
move.
think that the city didn't know his affiliations and
Oh,
everything?
yeah.
Do you think he
they
didn't know
already
the
knew.
feds was about to get him the very next week? You think they didn't know that? So they give you the key,
Yeah.
then lock you up without the key.
Well,
If-
I'm going to drink to that.
If that was me, I'd be like, "Hey, hold on now, the key is in my back pocket. I know I got. Hold on now, I got the key.
Exactly.
I got the key to the. No, this me, Durkee, yo. I got the key."
Yep.
I'm like, man, I say, y'all, I'm gonna leave that like that. That's a deep situation right there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a deep situation right there. And thing is, I stay tapped in to what's going on.
Yeah.
But not that deep, but I pay attention to key things. And I do know that's some other type shit right there.
That is. That's next level.
That's my whole nother shit right there. All right, so what else we got going on in the world? We got the election.
Now you know what? I ain't been paying too much to election. Now I'll tell you this. And this is for anybody who know me, who watching or whatever, anything like that nature. My thing is, a system is a system for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And a system is usually rigged to only benefit the players that will benefit from that system.
100%.
That's the only reason why you create a system.
100%.
Like, for instance, we can create a system to where you can make money. Who does that benefit? That benefits you because you making the money. But guess what? You paid me for the system, so that benefits the one who created the system. There's always some back-end channels behind something.
Always.
And I feel that the way our system is that it's designed for two clowns to run, to fight for a position that's just a quote unquote title.
Yeah.
Okay. Or a powerful title, because it's not. They have to dub it that. The people give it that leverage. You take the people away from it, and let's say if we didn't put anything behind it, now it wouldn't be worth shit. So we as the people, we give him that title as president, so we validate it more. But
it's a whole game to make the people believe they have influence of power.
Now that's what it is, bro. Because at the end of the day, they'll tell you that your vote counts, but then they, in my eyes, why do you need a popular vote? Why are you even tallying up who the people would have voted for? You know what I mean? It happens every election. Every election.
Listen, I made a post today on IG. What do you know? They're setting the polls on fire. They're setting voting polls on fire now. What do you know? Of course they are. It's a big game. Because they have to have a reason for some type of miscount a recount.
They do.
Oh,
It's always gonna be
always
something.
something.
Always.
It's always something.
So okay, if you just had to take a guess on who might get it, who do you think might get it? Kamala or Trump?
You know, they play so much. I don't know. What I do know is this.
Yeah.
I don't believe when it comes to politics and
Yeah.
this whole video game that we're in.
Yeah.
Related to the election and the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Trump is a different type of player in general.
Oh yeah, hands down.
He's a shark,
Hands down.
right?
Hands down.
And he is a definition what we would call an American gangster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he takes what the fuck he wants. You
Yep.
see what I mean?
You do.
So, based upon that is the reason why they tried so hard in so many different ways to discredit him and to make him tap out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, how many people can really take the political and financial pressures that they put on top of the nigga? Like how many more felonies, how many more court cases, how many more millions of dollars? But
Yeah,
every
that's
time
true.
they hit his ass, he trumped their ass.
He always.
He trumped
Because
their ass with something.
technically, he shouldn't be running.
He showed you how to beat the legal system
Yeah.
with the legal system.
Exact. There you go.
He showed you how to play, how to war with the sharks.
That's it.
Well, the whale. See, Trump is a shark. I mean, but he's battling the whales,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
He's battling the whales. So that is a whole different scenario within itself. He happens to be running for presidency again.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
So
Yep.
when it comes, that's why they try to pull their Trump card with old girl. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and they only did that as leverage because they feel like, first of all, it was a very vulnerable but desperate attempt, I think.
Yes. Very desperate
because
I feel you on that.
on political facts it doesn't make sense.
No.
On historical facts it doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
On any aspect of anything, it does not make sense
Not at all.
to just throw her in the race all of a sudden, and then
Exactly.
all of a sudden she's, you know, they say our last bet to deal with this MFA is to you know, throw in a spade, which
Yep.
is her, and then play off the emotions of the feminine
That's it,
energy
bruh.
of the world.
That's it. When you look at the plight from it, they are trying to get the women behind because all of these women would love to see the first women. And
Yeah.
when you put African American on that, that's gonna get all the black women out the house
Come on,
to
man.
come out and vote. Yes, sir.
No disrespect to the women, and no,
None.
that has nothing.
No
this has
disrespect at
nothing.
all.
Again, we're not talking about emotions.
Exactly.
We're talking about facts.
Yes, this is what's presented. This is what's presented. This is what's in front of us, and this is what's happening in real time. Real time.
Now, the first thing, it's going to be a million women watching this, talking about some, well, Trump doesn't care about abortions. Blah, 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 blah. Slow down.
Yep.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down. Slow down. At no point, first of all, it is difficult for a man to win a general argument with a woman. Okay?
This is very true.
You see what I mean?
This is very true.
So don't even put those expectations on that man. Secondly,
Come
you
on.
cannot compare abortions to what the fuck is going on in the world.
You can.
We got motherfuckers coming in from all over the goddamn country doing a hostile takeover in our neighborhoods,
Facts.
squatting, getting funded on for housing, governmental support,
Oh yeah.
all type of stuff. Like they're taking over our neighborhoods, and in a space in a country that's already so-called overpopulated.
Yes, sir.
We were just talking the other day about the time period when they would start pushing people from like out west and you know the other hoods and stuff like that further south into the suburbs.
Okay.
So a lot of those people started going, and I remember this like yesterday. It was wild, you know, like there was like new niggas was just coming up on the block and stuff like that, and it was just a lot of weird mixology going on. You see what I mean?
Okay,
And
gotcha.
and I got to witness that whole thing, and I got to see the suburbs for where they were and where they are at now, such as like your Hazel Crest and your Country Club Hills and stuff like that, right? And now you go there now. These like the slums now.
Yeah, exactly.
Country Club Hills was this place to be at. You see what I mean? So it's like because and now slowly but surely your Hyde Parks and your Bronzeville is gonna be the new, the new suburbs.
And that's true. And you can see it. You see how they building up. You see that they fixing up around them joints too.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, we was at We was at Bronzeville Soul, and I looked down the street and I was like,
exactly.
Baby, this what we at for real?
Exactly.
I was like, this actually pretty decent down here.
No, it's pretty exactly.
It's pretty decent.
Exactly.
It used to be a time when nothing would be decent.
Hyde Park feels like a miniature downtown.
Yeah, it really does.
It feels like a miniature downtown.
Honestly.
So it's like, in low key, downtown is starting to get a little ghetto in some certain areas.
Bro, it is.
I went downtown. Last time I was downtown, I'm like, what in the fuck is going on down? I felt like I was in a extra ghetto version of Vegas.
Cause dog, when you look at it, I think a lot of that has to do with the times, these generations. A lot of these, and I hate to sound like I'm old. you know what I mean? Yeah. I had to talk with my guy at work about that. I was like, dog, nigga, we sounding old right now, dog. I was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. We got to stay young in this month.
Right.
But
stay in tune.
But yeah, stay in tune. And I believe that with a lot of these younger people, I just think, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I just don't think they think at all. I don't even think they have minds. I don't
born without brains.
Bro, it's crazy. I sat down with somebody that I thought I wanted to have interviewed on my show. Turns out, this dude, I can't. Yo, I can't. It's hard, man, because when you sit down and talk to people, you want them to be articulate.
I want them to be articulate.
I'm like, I understand that I'm 34. Like, look, I done sat up here. I done had some people that was in the gangs from the West Side sit in the chair. You feel me? Sit in the chair. Who was actually running some stuff at some time. Sit right across from me.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had intelligent conversations.
Yeah.
With these niggas.
Mm-hmm. They're not capable.
They're not capable. Mm-mm. It's just not there. And that bothers me a lot. That if you 25 years old and you look like you got it together on the outside, but then when you come in and you sit down, you are totally different. Nah, that ain't gonna work. Yeah. I did not even air this episode, sir.
Wow.
I recorded it.
It was that bad?
And I said it will come out, but I did not put it out.
Not on your network.
Not on mine. No, sir. You're not about to get me canceled and embarrass my people.
That's how you got to be. And you're right. It don't.
Yeah.
Brains are not included.
I feel that way.
And that's what they want and it's gonna get worse. You know, I was just telling people about these applications that are out to, in war, when it comes to the destruction of people, you always want to target the youth. Yeah, youth definitely is always the main target, yes, right? So we see the conditions on the generation directly behind us. You see you see where they're at. They're prepping to make the generation right behind them even 10 times worse. You see what I mean? When it comes to the confusion of identity, failure to identify. You see what I mean? The 15 to 20 different genders we have. Just
don't get me started on that.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on, and they're putting a lot inside these mobile devices too. Please watch out for these applications that are out on these mobile phones and tablets. One of the most worst apps that's available to kids right now that they have been reported to be going on these applications on at school on the school computers. It's called Character AI. So it's an AI. Yeah, it's an AI system that allows kids to sign up. They usually lie about their birth dates, and they get right in, and they can jump into these chat rooms with these AI characters, and they become, friends with them, having these conversations. But it's built off like malicious, pervertish, intentions.
Really?
Yeah, like, hey, come in my room. You're naughty math teacher. You're this. It's serious.
What?
Oh, bro, it's sick.
Oh, no.
Okay, let me tell you how real it is. So when after I discovered it, after a friend told me about it, it was on the news a few days before that a kid, I forgot where he was from, he ended up committing suicide because the AI told him to do it. The woman he was talking to the girl he was talking to that was artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Told him that if you kill yourself, we can be together.
You see? Oh hell no.
Yeah. So we are in the world
See,
where you have to know what's going on in the world. So when
Facts,
people,
bro.
you don't have the
Facts.
privilege to be. People are so content with things. They don't know what is going on with what.
They don't.
I can't be around that. I'm sorry.
No.
Because
That's
yeah.
bruh. AI
Yes.
telling people to kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
How old you said this kid was?
I think 12. Yeah. Because
Yes,
they don't know. First of all, the technology is blowing all of our minds,
Bruh.
right? So, but
Bruh.
imagine if your brain is not mature yet, and you haven't access.
That's true.
You see what I mean?
That's true.
And they're like, they don't know. As far as they know, I don't know. They probably think it's real.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. Have y'all looked at the math? Have y'all looked at how these kids are adding? It's like 20 steps to understand what 22 plus 22 is now. Have you seen this math that they got out, bro? Dog, it's in like boxes and they talk about moving stuff over. And I said, oh no. My little niece had to do this math.
They don't never want shit to add up.
Dog. And when I'm trying to tell you, and then when you start showing kids how simple we were doing things, dog, a lot of this stuff we could do in our heads, but these kids, they have to draw it out on paper. So I understand what you're saying, because what it is, it's a young mind that is underdeveloped. It is a young mind that is part of a system that is allowing our kids to be dumber and dumber. So by the time you're 12, you would think your kid would have a little sense of maturity. No, that child is thinking like a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, because of the system that they put in. This is how AI can sit up here and tell a kid to kill themselves.
Exactly.
Because back then, when we were younger, your parents would probably sit up here and tell you, don't talk to strangers.
Exactly.
Only listen to what I tell you to do.
Exactly.
Don't listen to what somebody or somebody else tell you to do.
Exactly.
Because I just feel that's lost. Nowadays, you hand a kid a tablet, you send him off to his room, and you don't even communicate with your child.
And they know that. They know this is the parent.
Come on, they know that.
This is it.
Yep.
Because this is like, go over there. You see what I mean?
Yep.
Go over there. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Go play. Yeah, they gonna play those games on there. They playing more than you. They doing more than you think they're doing on there.
Oh yeah.
You need to know what they're doing at all times. You know.
I saw a video where a kid was talking to somebody on the Roblox app for that game, and they gave the person the address to come to their house. It was a 30-year-old man. Knocked on the door, and when the mama answered the door, he said, "I just came over to play." What? You 38 years old, coming to play with some kids? Oh no, you lost your mind. You going
Shot
to
his
the whole
motherfucking
jail.
head off.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, you going to the whole jail. It's over with.
You came to what?
He came
You came to
play.
play? I got something. Stay right there.
That's right.
Stay right there.
You want to play with kids?
I would have closed my door and shot right through the motherfucking peephole.
Dog. Oh, my man said.
I wouldn't even open it back up.
My man said straight to the door.
Shot right through the motherfucking
Dog.
peephole. Call the police.
Cause it's no type of. I just don't understand, and it's like you spoke on the whole all these genders we have. I saw another reel where a police officer, schooled these two, like they people without a brain, y'all. They just people with no brains out here.
Brains not included.
Brains not included.
Brains sold separately.
I'm trying to tell you, and they don't even know what about a damn thing at. Bro, this dude identified as a cat. He handed the police officer. I can't make this shit up, dog. I just
They
can't.
said this dude identified as a cat.
He handed the cop this collar. And he was like, well, what is this? He was like, well, this is my flea collar. I identify as a cat. And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, is this the boyfriend? And then he was talking about he got offended. But then he gave them the options to take the cat to get spayed or neutered at the vet, all this other stuff. Straight schooling these dudes because of their idiocy, right? And then when it's all said and done, the cop was like, well, would you like to go ahead and take your cat to the vet? Because it'll only be a $70 charge, whether they're going to get spayed or neutered or not. And he was like, what do we do? I don't know what to do. Give him your ID, sign the ticket, and go home.
Bro, this is not
All
real.
this because
This is not
dude
real life.
identified as a cat.
This is not real life.
And the other one said, I identify as your owner. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm the owner.
Well,
sorry.
let me tell you what's kind of frustrating with that for me.
Okay, talk to me.
It's the fact that, not that, Not even that part.
Okay.
Even though that's very frustrating because it confuses a lot of shit in the
I'm
world,
trying to tell
right?
you, bro. Yeah.
With everything, you know. And I be watching these debates on Jubilee.
Okay.
If you ever seen that, you should definitely watch it or whatever. So these diverse groups or whatever, they sit out. It's about, usually they sit in a circle. It's about 20 people, and they debate this, you know, this elite debater or whatever like that. And you'll be surprised on their defense, you know, them defending that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And my thing is, okay, cool. So since that we have gotten to the point in the world where those things are actually respected.
Yeah.
But yet, when it comes to a melanated, or people in general, but especially melanated people, when it comes to exercising our inalienable rights,
Yeah.
they confused.
Trying to tell you, bro.
I identify.
Very confused.
I identify as this. So what? I identify as that. We don't get none. You know. So if we self-identify, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So, we can't do that. Y'all have a problem with that, but I can identify as a motherfucking cat, and you'll.
Exactly. There it is, bro.
I'm.
Yes, yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm definitely I'm taking something from that playbook.
Please do.
I'm gonna take something from
Please
that. Since
do.
they want to
Because
play.
I'm gonna tell you something, dog. You should take something from that playbook because they are showing you what you could do, what you could get away with, what you can get away with in reason.
You know. Neapolis Malik Malachi, better known as General Hell. I identify as a Malachian.
We can drink to that. We can drink to that.
And I dare you say I can't.
There you go.
So
You can identify as a cat.
shouldn't it be just as respected and legally protected? Not only respected,
Yeah.
legally protected.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I really want y'all to really think about that for a second.
Real
That's
talk.
major.
Please do.
That
Please
is
do.
major.
Yeah.
See, not only that, to the respect as far as recognized as a recognized nation of people,
Now that too. Yep.
because we do have our group of people that have their own flag
This is very true.
right next to the American flag.
Very true.
So let's not let them play the game to their benefit, but we can't play the game to our benefit as well. You know, we have our human rights, inalienable rights, our God-given rights, our spiritual rights, our religious rights, you know, constitutional rights, you name it. But it's so hard for us to just to do what we want to do, you know, within reason,
Facts.
you know. But when it comes to these crazy circumstances where people just at this point they're just doing what the fuck they wake
just
up
doing whatever,
they wake
bro.
up and just say what the fuck ever. Like
that's what
I'm
they
talking
do.
about, like
That's exactly
doesn't
what
even
they
make
doing.
it doesn't even make sense at this point.
It makes no sense.
And the funny part about it is they are actually adding these things to classifications. Like when you look this up,
You know what, dog? That's what's baffling me.
you see what I
even
mean?
More.
They're changing the applications.
Yeah. Changing them, dog. Like, I just don't understand. There used to be just a male
And a female.
and a female. That's it. Last time I checked, you got a dick, you're a man. You got a vagina, you're a woman. 23 genders stemmed from 2.
Come on, man.
We gonna talk like DC. Fuck you mean?
Come on,
Like,
man.
what are you talking about?
Come on,
like
man.
how? Somebody needs to. Okay, you know what? I even play devil's advocate, and I say maybe I'm the stupid one, right? Maybe I'm the ignorant one. Teach me some shit today. Let's see if that logic lines up. 'Cause as soon as it doesn't, I'm walking out.
Now, the only thing I'd be like, okay, that's a different kind of scenario, because you do have, what do you call those people that actually were born with both?
Yes, oh my God, hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
Hermaphrodite. Now that is different.
That is
holds
different.
a soft spot,
Right.
a soft spot in here.
Yes.
Because I get it.
Yeah.
You either gonna have one hormone is gonna be dominant over the other, and you'll still have both parts. But then you have to truly decide. Now that should be the only time when a person should have to decide
100%.
their gender, and you can't fault them if you feel that if it's right or wrong, because that's their personal choice. I can get behind that all day. I can rock with that all day, and I can respect it. But don't come up to me and tell me you're a damn cat. I swear, if you do, I'm not meowing. I ain't doing nothing. You know what I might do? I just might buy your ass a little box and throw you in it and keep you in there. Just because you want to be a cat so damn much. You'll figure out after day 3 that you don't want to be no damn cat no more. Mm-hmm. I probably won't feed your ass either since you a cat, right?
Hey, you remember that young comedian dude? I forgot his name. He did a skit talking about some I'm such and such, and I identify as a 35-year-old white man.
Yes. That was amazing.
That dude's stupid.
Did you also see the reel where the cop said it was a black man and a white man? He said, if you're a white man, step forward. He said, I'm stepping up. He stepped up with the white man with his hands up. He was like, sir, you're black. He was like, I identify as white. And I was like, well played, son.
Exactly.
Touche. I love that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's what we need to start doing. Shit.
Come on, ain't it, bro?
Hey, I identify as a motherfucking 35-year-old rich white man.
With good credit.
With good credits.
With good credit.
If I process my application, you deny me, this is gonna be a fucking human rights violation. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I identify as a 35-year-old white man with excellent credit. I have a 940. Okay.
Oh wow.
All right.
You need to adopt me.
So you guys need to take that, remove that, and update that immediately. Okay. I'm from Beverly Hills, born and raised.
There it is.
You know, I don't identify with nothing ghetto. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm anti-black. See my skin? You know, white power.
He's white.
White power.
He identifies as white man. I see it on his face. Y'all don't see it? I see it.
White power. You know, I'm here with my black brother.
No, I'm not black.
Oh, you know?
No, I'm not. God damn it, if you gonna be white, god damn it, I'm white.
Hey, we gonna get canceled for the first episode.
I know, man. We out here pushing these limits. But you know what? It's okay. Because if y'all out here talking about what y'all identify as, god damn it, we gonna identify with something.
We gonna start identifying. We gonna start switching it up on y'all ass. We ain't gonna keep on just sitting back and getting played like this.
Now see, then what does this mean for your driver's license now?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you see your driver's license, your birth certificate. We might be able to change some things around. You know what?
Yeah.
This might be. See, my full name, my government name sound right. It sound white already. Jeffrey Relaford.
Yep.
Distinguished.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
You sound like a trust fund, baby.
I do. Come on, dog.
I'm telling you.
We about to do something here. We about to do something.
Hey,
here.
I don't identify as a U.S. citizen. Okay. We are private. Mm-hmm. We are private foreign nationals. Okay. We are from the Malachian Empire.
It is.
And you motherfuckers gonna respect us. If you respecting these motherfuckers talking about their cats.
Meow.
Hell wrong with y'all. Meow.
Meow.
This shit is just ludicrous. This shit is bonkers. It's like, come on,
crazy,
man.
Bro.
Come on, man.
It's wild.
It's funny, but it's crazy as fuck.
Exactly. You know, because when you look at it, you think it's. When I first started looking at all this stuff, I was like, okay,
they're serious, though.
They're serious. I thought it was some form of entertainment at first.
Nah.
They're serious, yo.
And all it is exposing us to the level of, I don't know, is it I don't know, is it retards? Is it retardation? Is it?
It's some form of mental illness.
We have brain dysfunctions. We have mental dysfunctions. We have a severe mental dysfunction in the world right now. People are literally fucked up.
Yeah, it's bad. And and you know what I told my wife this? I said, I don't want to be political, but I'm gonna be honest. When you look at which party sets up a lot of these different quote unquote rules, laws of equality, you know, we start really paying attention to the Democrats. And I just like to say they the loosey-goosey party, man. And in some cases, maybe the loosey booty party too.
It's the loosey booty. It's out there.
Because it's out there. Because it's out there, man. And you know, I'm just saying this stuff because y'all, once again, this is real life. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. These things I'm saying, listen, when I say loosey booty, loosey goody, it's all entertainment purposes, but you are able to relate that to what is going on now because you are as smart as me.
To the facts.
And you see what's going on out here.
Yeah.
So anything I say at this moment, it should not offend you. You should be able to actually look at the world, look at what's going on, and back it up with a little something.
We got to stop getting offended by truth.
That's it, brother.
Truth should not offend you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a serious problem that we have. People are actually running from truth, and they hate truth. They will hate you for like
they will.
And it's not you saying anything. It's like just you. This is what's going on. This is the reality.
Exactly. It's the reality of it.
So what do you do at this point?
Mm-hmm.
In the condition that we are in as a people as a whole, just rather black, white, Hispanic, whatever, in the United States, what do you see? How do you think this place is going to look within the next 5 to 10 years?
You know what? Okay, I'm going to say this. Just historically looking at things, when we start looking from generation to generation, I'll say like a 20, 30 year gap, right? We'll say a 20, 30 year gap. That's when you start to see separation, So depending on where we are in this 20, 30 year gap, depending on what type of laws get established or people are doing even more crazy things, that is actually going to determine the climate. That's what I really feel is going to determine the climate. I can't say what I think it might be, but if I had to take a guess, we would still kind of be how we are a little bit today, but it will be edgier. That's what I would say. Because even when you look at, it's an older guy I talked to at work, his name is Bob Kane. He was born in like, the 40s or something like that, So, no, he wasn't born in the 40s. He was born in the 50s, maybe the 60s. So when we start talking about how he sees life, he was talking about slavery, picking cotton, all this other stuff like that. And then you look at now, things have drastically changed for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who would have thought that he would have been living in the era of internet, tablets, iPhones,
right?
Just the fact now an AI robot,
right?
You know what I mean? Who would have thought he would have seen that being born in that era? This man lived through Jim Crow and everything like that. That's why I say. So when you ask like the next 5, 10 years, if you would have asked me how I look in the next 40 years, I'd have said this shit gonna be wild. But
let me say this then.
What's up?
The if you talk to just our generation, the generation before, and maybe we have the opportunity to speak to somebody in the generation before that generation, I think everybody can express their opinion as far as their concept of time on how things actually changed in phases, right?
Definitely.
So, in 10 years period, this happened. In 20-year period, that happened.
Yeah.
The way I see it is that, if we actually like compare what's going on now and how fast, the world.
I see what you're saying because this shit is shifting
fast,
and it's not at a slow rate at all. It's not at a slow rate at all.
Typically, worldly evolution had like several decades of transition.
Okay.
And it still does. Meaning that, but we're transitioning to new levels, in like technologically, like within, bruh, the past 2 years.
Yeah, I will say that.
2 years. Look.
Yeah,
okay,
you ain't lying.
Based upon the evolution of technology, the last 2 years can compare it to 20 up to 10 or 20 years.
I do feel you on that, because when we start looking at the evolution of AI, and AI was something simple, like real simple before. You ask something to do something for you, or spit out just a little something for you.
Okay, how long did we have that? So we got to.
We didn't have that. We didn't have that for that long.
Exactly.
Not to the extent that we looking at it. You could always type something in and tell something. But I'm talking. But this new age AI, when you talking to it, and it started with Alexa. Honestly, let's be real.
Yeah.
It started with Alexa.
It did.
You ask it a question, it'll spit something back to you. You ask it kind of
or Siri.
Or Siri, yeah. You ask it kind of what it thought about something, it might give you a little something. They just found a way to damn near perfect it and give it a brain.
That goes to the point where it always starts from somewhere. So if we have a dig back, like I say, like the first close to AI would be probably Siri and Alexa. You know what I'm saying? But now the difference between these two, intelligence, artificial intelligence, we have, Chat GPT, where now you can talk to it or you can build your own bot.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But the thing is it has it not only allows you to self-develop, it's open source. You see what I mean? So it's open source technology. Definitely. So you can build upon it. You can take it as is, whatever you see fit. So now as you feed it, it's growing. Every time somebody
it learns.
Every time somebody feeds that a prompt, is constantly growing and developing and technology and evolving.
Yes.
So now if we don't see something that significant, just that alone, we would have been good for 10 years with that. That's true. That alone,
years, yeah.
because it's still fresh. Everybody's still trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
Everybody's still in the beta stage.
Yeah.
Trying to figure that out. So what we're doing right now, everybody's trying to figure out what can it do, and pushing the limits.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? How can I use this to create, and what can I create? You see what I mean? And now how fast, and how can I automate it? Right?
Yes.
So we haven't even got 10 years.
Not even 10 years.
Because we haven't even been able to settle with the current creations.
That's true.
You see what I mean?
That's true.
So simultaneously, right, along with everything else that's going on in the world politically, shit. Elon Musk just busts out the motherfucking Tesla robots.
Exactly. Having whole conversations with people.
Wait a minute. You just bust out with the robots.
Yeah. No announcement.
Like,
nothing.
You can't just bust out with the Tesla robot. You can't go, nigga, this ain't no car, nigga.
And that's
this
how
ain't no
I
car,
felt. That's
nigga.
exactly how I felt.
You can't just bust out in public with your the first video I've seen was 2 Chainz having a conversation with the damn robot.
I saw that too.
You can't just do that.
You can't just do that.
And talking about you can own yours now for 20, 30,000. Wait a minute. I didn't see a commercial.
Nothing.
I didn't see a trailer.
Nothing.
Like remember we used to be prepped for something like that years.
That's true. Years.
Come on.
Years in advance.
Years. And then even the test models. We haven't even had no basic little bullshit ass robots.
You want to know something that I feel was a test model? It was the military grade robots that they were having walk around and do shit for their missions and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that those were the prototypes because they needed a body.
Mm-hmm.
They needed a way to kind of manufacture something lifelike. And they did a damn good job of doing that.
Yeah.
For military stuff. They did a damn good job of doing that. So now when you implement what you learned from the military, you bring that over to somebody like Elon Musk. He's going to, you take the softer side because now what do you want to do? You could take all that technology that the government has used, take that, put it in your robot, apply human concepts to it, and now when you add the AI to it, which is only taking this 2-year span, he's already pretty much got the top tier of what AI is going to do. The man ain't really got to think. He just got to hire somebody to do the shit for him, plop it in, boom, bada bam. That's how you get a damn robot. You know?
That's it. It's like, it's scary, though, because we haven't had enough time. I can't say that, though, because by the time we get some shit, if we actually do the homework and research, we'll find that they've already been testing that shit out overseas.
Oh, bro, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean, probably it's probably been overseas for a decade.
Definitely.
You know, in some form of fashion, probably somewhere in China or some place like that, because China's way more advanced than us.
China has had plenty of robots doing stuff, handing people stuff, and some of it on a simpler level.
Yeah, they got urinals and shit. When you take a pee, it tells you, it's a display screen that tells you if you have any type of internal illnesses and stuff like that.
Oh, I need to go there.
I
like that. I
Crazy shit.
don't have to go to my doctor.
Yeah, I mean,
the toilet is your doctor.
The urinal, it evaluates your pee, your urine.
That's something.
Like so, but that's still scary. All of this has happened. More has happened in our last 10 years in our generation than any other generation has experienced.
I can believe that.
It's so much.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so much that we don't know. You see what I mean? That's out there
and
available.
I think that's the scary part.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like you said, because it's so much that's been put out. Like that's what you mean. We got so much within this 2-year period. So much, hell, even as we're talking, y'all, for like 30 seconds, somebody didn't come out with a concept or something just like that.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's coming at a quick rate. Like you said, man, 2 years, like you said, what we did in 2 years should have been a 10-year scope.
Everything, look, everything is moving at least times 10. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't even think it's over exaggerating by saying times 100 to certain degrees. You see what I mean? Think about this.
Yeah.
Like I was telling people about, remember the website Fiverr?
Yeah, I remember Fiverr.
Okay. There's phases in things, right? So I was on Fiverr. I'm talking about back in 2000, at least 8.
See, bro, if I'd have known that, I'd have had a business back then.
You see, like my order transactions from Fiverr.
Yeah.
Bruh, but even back then, when I was using Fiverr, it was
Oh, still on the hush hush.
No, because why would I say something?
That's true. Because
that's a secret weapon.
Heck yeah, it done broke out. You
That
can't
was a
let
secret
something like
weapon.
that break out.
Yeah, so I that's in the cuff. I had at least a 5 to 7 year run before anybody even really knew about that. When people started knowing about it is when Facebook started integrating ads and ads based upon your interests.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
So once I start seeing it, I'm like, damn. You see what I mean? The cat's out the bag. So I'm already trained to know when to move around and find the next thing because I'm already knowing the competition is going to start leaking over into that industry, right?
Exactly.
Things are going to be a lot easier. Things are going to be, as far as production, turnaround time, and especially in design work. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So imagine how I feel when AI came out. So when I first got my hands on AI, same thing. I'm like, shh. I'm not saying shit. I'm still not comfortable with talking about ChatGPT because people have no idea what me and her be doing behind the scenes.
Bruh.
It's like,
yo,
you know what I'm saying?
ChatGPT is like, y'all thought y'all seen a tier of something. How much is that version of it? It's 20? Something. It's 20.
But that's the baby. See, I'm talking about ChatGPT because there's another one out that y'all don't know about.
No, I don't know about it.
I'm gonna tell you when the camera cut off.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
But I can't give y'all everything.
Yeah.
So we can talk about what everybody talking about already because the cat is out the bag. Everybody know about ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Have fun, but you got to know how to use it. You got to know how to talk.
That's true.
You got to know how to talk to that woman. You got to talk to that woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because it's only gonna reflect you. You see what I mean?
That's true.
And you got to make it you too. You got to make it you. That's the key.
That's the key.
That's the
key
too.
to AI.
That's the key.
Successful AI. That's
exactly.
Successful AI.
But the thing is that what scares me is this. Remember, we even had personal conversations about applications like CapCut.
Yeah.
Opus Clips. And notice I'm saying this out loud. I give out so much shit on a regular basis. So I'm not giving out my personal shit to the internet like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my back end production shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's so much shit out there and everybody knows. It's like everybody knows a lot of these things now. You see what I mean?
That's true. Everybody knows.
Think about this, bro.
Yeah.
Just those few apps alone, I'm like, shh. Bruh, I promise you, within weeks, I see, these motherfuckers know. Within weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, because the trends start picking up. Everything starts to look the same.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I mean?
Yep.
They own it.
They own it.
You see what I mean?
Because when I came across Opus, I started looking at it. I was like, damn, let me snag this real quick.
Bro, that's fast.
But it was still fast because I only saw the more bigger, like Hormozy and a few other people using it at the time. And I was like, oh, snap.
Because when you seen that, you're like, damn, I wish I need an editor like that, right?
I need an editor like that. That's what I said.
We weren't thinking like
that. Yeah, and then when it came across one day, I was like, God damn it, I done found this.
This is the cat that's out the bag now.
This is the cat that's out the bag now, exactly.
Majority of people know this.
Yeah, majority of people know it, but the ones that, I guess I put it this way, the ones on your level that should probably know it, they didn't know it. You feel me? You had your big stars using it. You had the ones putting out their reels. They already knew it.
Yeah.
but the lower tier
They didn't know.
caught on yet.
That ain't caught on
so
yet.
when I sat up here, when I looked at it, I was like, oh wow, okay. This was still me learning on the lower tier, catching it.
Right.
But I was like, ain't that a motherfucker?
Right.
So I really don't use it now.
You don't.
Honestly,
Okay.
I don't use it as much as I should.
Uh-huh.
I probably could get away with using it, but hell, all the videos look the same, dog.
That goes back to another point where everything is so fucking competitive, saturated,
very
you see what I mean?
saturated. Yes.
Where rather
saturated.
you have to, if you're using these tools, you have to use the tools and still add to it. You have to add.
I hear you.
You have
That's
to
it.
do something. You have
You
to do
gotta add to
something
it.
extra.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
Facts. Yeah. You
So-
need some type of movement, some type of
It-
transition.
It got to be something, bro.
Something.
Because
Yeah.
again, it's not going to separate you from the rest.
Mhm.
Because at this point, this is the problem. The problem is the mindset. So it's a good thing that people's mindsets are evolving, right? With time,
Yep.
with at least people that's somewhat in the know.
Exactly.
Right? So, now the people that are not, hold that thought. Imagine the people that have no fucking clue what the fuck we're talking about. Hold
This
that.
is true.
Hold that thought. Hold that
Okay.
thought.
Okay.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Because it's moving too fast.
Yeah.
So if you don't catch up to this right now, and we still low key behind,
Yeah.
it's like within a year and 2 years and 3, if you don't catch on to, because the mindset, the new mindset is the fact that when you see something damn near,
Yeah.
a nigga looking at it like, damn, what app is he using? What this
Exactly,
is?
bruh.
They're automatically thinking they know that there's a way to get that done and get it done faster.
Now the only thing that I feel is really weapon concealing out here is them AI editors. I think some
what
of
you
that
mean?
is concealing. I've came across a couple of those.
The people that actually edit the like programmers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've came across a couple of those, and some of those I can't tell. Some of them it really look like they went in and they did their thing on it.
Well, give me an example.
Which one? One of them keep coming up on my Instagram all the time, and I want to try it, but I'm like, I don't know, because I go live. You know me, dog. I go live all the time, so I don't have to worry about it. But one of them keep coming up on my Instagram, and I look at the end product of, I don't care if they even spliced it together, they did whatever. I even went on YouTube. I looked at this particular program. I can't remember the name of it, Big Dog. I wish I remember the name of it, but it pop up on my stuff all the time. I'm going to screenshot and send it to you. But it's just, it truly looks like it was just kind of smooth a little bit. You have bugs. I will say that you have bugs because it wasn't perfect.
Okay.
I will say that it wasn't perfect, but it got pretty close. Pretty close.
You talking about on the video side?
On the video side, pretty close. If I was one of those people, I would have hopped on that and just been like, I get it.
Yeah.
That's something better for some, because you, like I told you, you know how I roll, Big Dog. Listen, y'all, I'm not gonna edit if I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do no more work than what I need to do.
Are you talking about the full video editors?
The full ones,
The autopilot one?
like something like that, yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
got something. for
something
you.
like that.
I can't say.
No,
that
but I
on
know what you
TikTok.
mean. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Them
Yeah.
full jokers.
Yeah. That
you
it's certain shit because when you're talking about that, when you talk about production editing,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Most people are not in a production edit position.
Now that's it, bro. That's the thing.
So that's why
That's the thing.
That's why we
Yeah.
still got some cookies in the cabinet they don't know
Exactly.
about.
That's why, yeah.
Because if they can't do
Most
it off their phone, they fucked.
And that's the thing, dog. You ain't lying.
We going
They
against the
can't do-
mobility.
Come on.
Mobility
That's it.
warriors. See,
And that's how you have to fight that fight for real.
it is.
There's so many people that I still talk to now, and they be like, "Oh, well, I just do my iPhone."
Yeah.
Okay. You a little behind, but okay, it's all right. You'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
By the time you get there,
it's only
gonna be,
so much you can do with that.
bruh.
You
It
know?
is.
It's only so much.
Not like the chick who does my promos. Now she good at what she do. You know, my promos, they come out good for my guests and all the other stuff. She find the music she do is good. But even with that, that's gonna get played out at some point in time. So I told her, I said, girl, Nikki, just try to find you something a little different if you can. I will ride with it, but we trying to ride the wave.
You
of
gotta build
what's
a
coming out next.
Yeah.
what we could do to stay competitive,
Yeah,
what we could do to keep up with people.
Right. And so it's all about, okay, what are they doing now? What can we do? We might implement this now.
Yep.
But we also got to figure out what the fuck can we do different. What's the new shit?
What's the new shit?
If somebody, if I see that shit on the internet, bro, too much, I'm like, I'm not even like, fuck it, y'all can have that. I'm on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Because why do that? I'm never finna. I don't like joining rat races. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm not finna do it. If
I feel
everybody's doing it, let's do it. Like, I'd rather take the time and take the money and do things that may take a little bit more time, a little bit more money, and a little bit more, just energy, just to produce a different and better product or whatever like that. And that I know at least at this point, bro, at least if we can get a 1 year edge, we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
you get a 1 year.
Because that's still at first I used to have 5 year edges at least on people.
Okay.
5 to 10, bro.
That's dope.
I'm talking about nowhere close to fucking with me.
That's accountability, people.
You know what I'm saying?
Taking it.
I purposely did that though.
Yeah.
But I because you only survive if you live in reality. The reality of it
Those are facts.
is everybody's on your ass. In most industries, somebody on your ass, whether it's the people or the AI or the people that's using the AI. So if you don't utilize that shit to actually create some new shit, like, and build your own shit. So now we're talking about this story. So now I can tell you what to do. If you're not coding and programming and building some new shit to do shit that you trying to do like uniquely like you always gonna be playing that game.
Okay.
You know? So no, I'm I'm building my own shit.
Yeah, I like that. See, this man, he always got something. He always got something.
I'm instantly going into building my own shit. Off jump, off GP. I'm building.
That's
my own
why I
shit.
wish I knew how to do that part of it. I wish I knew how to do that part of it because when you start. Because you have some bomb-ass ideas in your head. When you sit down and you start to create and you start to take your mind to a place that you didn't even think you could go to, like you have some bomb-ass ideas in the dome.
Because think about it. Would you rather be the consumer or the producer?
Shit, the producer all day. All day.
If you know when you drop this dope, everybody gonna be eating it, everybody gonna be sniffing it.
Yep.
I'd rather cook the dope. I'd rather put instead of having my time using the same shit, fighting to compete and boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm gonna do the same shit, but with my own product that still everybody else is gonna be using.
Your Blue Magic.
Now, because everybody's looking for copy and paste. So okay, you create that thing that they're gonna copy.
That's it.
And you be the originator of that.
That's right. That's how you stay ahead of the game.
That's it.
That's how you stay ahead of the game.
So the creators are gonna be the rulers of the new world. Whoever's using this shit to create things that the average person, where you can't really cheat code that, meaning that you got to sit your ass in the lab and get greasy.
Exactly.
You got to sit your ass in that lab in that dark ass room. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta put in the work.
Throw that hoodie on, get your cup of tea, get your cup of wine, whatever you're gonna do, and you in there for days. And you creating products, software, stuff like that. Those are gonna be the guys that's gonna be in the millions and the billions of dollars.
That's true. That's true.
Programmers. And one thing I will say without giving out too much game on my own stove, is the fact that everything is still making everything easier. I'll put it like that. Everything is still making everything easier. So it's not like it's not far-fetched no more. You can do what you want to do if you're willing to, go into the unknown and just figure that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
It's like, but things are, whatever it is, it's 10 times easier than it's ever been in the fucking world.
I agree.
Whatever it is.
I agree.
Anything that you want to do,
I agree.
Put it like this. It was a guy, one of the guys hit me up.
Okay.
And about releasing a book. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And a couple people. But that wasn't a thing that was kind of like, funny to me. What was funny to me is that these are individuals that wouldn't even have thought believed in the possibility of them being able to write, be an author, and produce and publish a book. You see what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
And you know, some of these individuals don't even fucking read books for that matter. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I feel you on that.
That shows you where the world is.
Yeah, that's true.
So when Joe Blow started talking about writing a book, okay, you know, I done released several books throughout within the past couple years.
Exactly. Yep.
But people don't realize I'm going crazy with releasing. Yeah, I need 10 on the shelf this year. That's my mind.
Okay.
Like right now, you know what I'm saying? Not 10 years. This year. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because it's for a couple different things. It's because when it's in my head, I got to get it out as soon as possible.
Okay, I got you.
You see what I mean? Because you got to strike when the stove is hot.
That's right.
You see what I mean?
That's it.
Ain't no waiting, because that motivation you feel, it's for the day, right? Right?
Let them know that one more time.
That motivation, motivation that you feel to do things, to go outside your realm, your norm, and to do and to create something, that feeling you got, that shit feel good today. It might not feel good tomorrow, or it might not even be there tomorrow. So you can have, and the biggest word is actually inspiration. Inspiration.
Yes.
Inspiration cannot be bought, cannot be sold, and really cannot be told. You know, now you can motivate somebody into inspiring them.
Exactly.
But that spark, that's like, man, it's so beautiful. And it's like, and then just it's feeling in your creative space to allow your thoughts. It's a gift to even have to be able to manifest your thoughts, you know, the products that manifested from your thoughts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Bro, it's something. That's one I always tell people that's one of the greatest gifts that God showed us how to do. He showed us how to create.
And that's when you in your God self.
Exactly.
Yes.
When you're creating.
When you're creating. Everything you creating is an act of God. Everything you create. So but you have to become, you have to build a habit of being God in a way. You know what I'm saying? And being an aspect of God.
Because that's what God does. Since God is if you acknowledge God as being the creator, and you were created
in the image of God.
In the image of God. So if I was created in the image of God, that means I too have the ability to create.
It's in your God nature.
It's in
your natural attribute.
You eat, breathe, and sweat it already. Like it's crazy, because that came to me when I was reading the Bible a couple years ago, and I sat down and I was like, I almost literally walked out the house, and I had to like pace a little bit, because I was like, okay, like you know how you get something in the beginning, but then when you read it, you find the points and the validation that just line up with what you already believe.
Right.
You know, that's what it was.
It could have been something you read several times.
I've read this several times.
Yeah.
But then I finally took these key parts, and I was like, that's it right there.
That's what that means.
That is exactly what
that's
this
what
means.
It is.
So now it made it easier for me to now just do some things.
Exactly.
Still be calculated.
Right.
But when I'm ready to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make it happen. As opposed to sitting up and saying, I'm going to wait a little bit. Nah, man. When you got it, just go. Let it rip.
Because we automatically think of the things that can't be done, or think it can't be done, or think we don't, it's not the perfect time, or we don't have the money. We don't have, if we exercise our resources, we'll be able to see like, we can do a lot of things, know, expeditiously too, like right now.
Right now.
What can you do right now to manifest? Is first start off by writing the idea out in your head.
That's it.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
That's the first act of manifestation.
Yep.
Put it on paper. Now you see it. Now you can go back and decode it later.
Exactly.
You can decode it later.
Think you have to. A lot of times when I talk to people and I'm coaching people, they think that they have to do it now. And I said, just sit on that real quick. It's fresh. You put it out there. Now you have to think about how you are going to implement this.
Yeah.
Now you put it out. Now if you're gonna come to me 2 days later and say I'm doing this, and this, I'm gonna ask you how.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense how. because you haven't sat down, you ain't had the time to look at nothing, you haven't studied the key players.
Unless you're a monster.
Yeah, unless you're a monster.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a monster.
I dealt with a couple people.
I'm a monster.
You are one of them.
I'm a monster. So if I talk about some shit today,
this is a part of the monster.
Which took me one of the longest to do, but this everybody has their comfort zone. You see what I mean?
Yeah, everybody has.
But most things I'm able to boom, 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 like because I respect the laws of time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I know I could do a lot of things. I know it's all about thought, action based upon the decision to apply action.
Yeah.
So I don't have to spend countless hours and days pondering with myself and stuff like that because I've already have enough body of experience and data points in my head.
That's it.
So it might be something sort of new or not new. I can easily add it to where I'm already at to make it make sense. I can make it make sense.
There you go.
You see what I mean? You know, for a lot of things. So, but you have to have some experience to back that up to be able to identify what you're looking at.
That's
some people
true.
are not able to identify where they're at.
Exactly.
The things that they're trying to do, the players and all these other things. But you know, if you're in that position already, decision making, well, it might take me a day to decide to do and act on. It might take somebody a month or a year.
True.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm always gonna be ahead, of the majority because I know most people think too much. You know.
That's it, bruh. Because when it's dropped in you, that's all you need to do it. When it's what I mean by that is you have the idea, right? You have some of the knowledge, if not more of it, because like we said, the experience too. Because you're not gonna really know the experience you have until you start implementing some of this stuff.
Exactly.
Some of it you can see,
right.
But when you actually put your hand on it and you start tinkering with that joker, that's when you start to, oh, this shit is like this. This like, oh, this come easy because I did this before. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like a mechanic. You know,
exactly like a mechanic.
Hey, I mean, I've been working on cars all my life. You know,
exactly.
shit. I mean,
it's like I do with this electrical. It was nothing for me to go ahead this new job I started. These guys were like, this guy don't know nothing. All right. I just kind of let them do that. And I went out on this job, set up here, troubleshooted everything down from everything in the cabinet to the motor, and then come and find out it was operator error. Dog, a job that would have took a new guy that didn't know anything hours to do, I did it in 10 minutes.
Well, that's another key thing, troubleshooting, problem solving.
Yep.
You see what I mean? So if that's your base, and that's I think that's the key ingredient. If you are a master, right, troubleshooting, you can start from scratch in anything and figure it out.
In anything, and that's,
you see what I mean?
And that's true because you have the basic concept of knowing that there's a start
and a finish,
a middle, and an end. You always gonna start from the beginning.
If you know your beginning, right?
Yep.
If you at least know your beginning and you know your end, that means you at least are operating off the appropriate GPS system.
Exactly. You able to connect the dots from there.
Is your GPS on? Do you know how to read your map?
Come on.
Where's your starting point? Where's your destination? That's all I need. I know. I want to say use this, do this, and get there. Okay, boom. So from there, I'm gonna sit there, and so all I need now is my discipline, my dedication, my time, my energy, and my focus.
That's it, bro.
If you give me some time, or if I make the time to focus in on that, I could do a lot in 24 hours. I swear to you.
I'm trying
24
to tell you.
hours, I could do so much.
Bruh, I sat up here with one of my mentors when I was trying to figure out how I really want to do this camera thing and look at everything. And he was very surprised. He was like, "Dog, you bought all this in like 2 days?" I'm like, "Yeah," because we had a starting point, and I knew where we was trying to go with it.
So in his mind, you brought. See,
like
think about
it. You did it too quick.
You
like you didn't think about it.
Because that would have took a lot of people because they're thinking about, well, because first of all, they wasn't really in it, right?
Exactly.
They wasn't really committed. They wasn't mentally committed. They wasn't, you see what I mean?
And that's what it
so
is, bro.
Once you say, I'm gonna commit to this, I'm doing it.
That's it. You doing it.
I'm doing it. Okay, let's hurry up and tally up the book. What's my budget looking like?
Exactly.
Okay.
What's the budget?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm not in a great financial position, but based upon where I'm at today, I have X amount of dollars to spend. So okay, now let me now if you come from the hood, you a black person, you should have another skill, which is being able to stretch a dollar.
Come on.
And bargain.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I know how to buy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know how to leverage what I have. You might have to sell, trade, sell, and swap out. You see what I mean?
There you go.
So I can get what I need.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, and then I'm gonna go. I do that with everything, bro. I'm talking about everything.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about. I'm on my way to New York, right?
Yeah.
And okay, hotels. Okay. All right. So New York for me is never a super comfort zone for me.
Okay.
Because to me it's just too fucking big, and these places are too goddamn small. So it's like I just feel lost. You see what I mean? You know, I always need a tour guide in New York.
Yeah.
So I'm always micromanaging every aspect of everything in relation to my time.
Okay.
And my money, my budget. So it's like, I would say, all right, if I'm making a decision upon 2 hotels, I'm considering a few different things. First of all, I'm not gonna be doing a lot of moving around.
Okay.
So whatever I'm doing, I need to be local. So whatever hotel is at, I need that shit to be a few minutes away from the actual venue that I'm gonna be at. Okay, now from there, now scenario. Okay, is this, you know, I need to have an environment in the hotel itself, meaning restaurant, lounge, stuff like that, because I might just this just might be it for me. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
You know,
I don't feel like doing nothing
exactly.
else. I want a one-stop shop.
Okay, so what am I going to be spending money on? Okay, breakfast. Is breakfast included?
Yep.
Right? It's you know what I'm saying? Does it have a gym? Does it have all these things? Because because a person might automatically go for, you know, a day's in, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna end up spending more money for extracurricular activities and going outside of that but you thought you was cheating and saving money here, but spending money on the back end.
Exactly.
You know, when you get and here it's damn near gonna be all inclusive.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Facts. Yeah.
And it's flyer.
There it is.
You see what I mean?
That's
so
it.
Little shit like that. Okay, you fly a lot. You know. Okay, let me try to stick to. I gotta stick to this though. Let me try to stick to one particular airline. Okay. All right. Fuck it. Southwest. Why? Because it come with 2 bags. Okay. You fuck around with Frontier all the time. You might fuck around. Don't miss your flight. You know, or because the fucking flight gets fucking canceled because the goddamn motherfucking pilots decide they want to fucking call off work because they trying to play around in the goddamn pool pit, whatever the shit called, and because they don't want to take the next last flight out of fucking Atlanta.
You know,
so
that sounds like that happened to you, sir.
Yeah.
That sounds like experience.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw the look in his eyes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking I'm finessing the game by getting a cheap flight, but knowing they gonna tax your ass on that bag.
Fact.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, they gonna get you on the bag.
They gonna get you on the bag.
Always.
Both, you know, coming in, going.
Yeah,
so
coming and going.
So you might as well get a better option. Is because now you're gonna save. You're actually gonna save time. Your time is most important. We're gonna save time and actually end up spending probably the same amount of money.
There it is.
You see what I mean?
That's how you reason that bad boy.
So
look at which option is going to be better and fit the need.
People. We grew up in like coupons and stuff like that. We spent all this time looking for this, looking for this, looking for this, looking for that. Like, okay, we post a bargain. We wanna leverage the dollar to the maximum, but not spend so much time that we lose time.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you lose time, you lose money. You know, rich people, wealthy people find ways to use the money, to leverage the money, to buy time because they know time is their most valuable asset.
Exactly.
So if something takes me a certain amount of time to do, my first goal in any production is to figure out, first of all, how can I do it? How can I do it at a competitive level? And now once I've mastered that system, how do I do it faster? And the last phase is, how does it work without me?
Okay.
How can this get done without me? How do I separate myself from that? So now I can pour my time back into my greatest asset, which is me, and me having more time, being in position to just create. My job is you and your God self are supposed to be creating as much as possible. As long as you, how many years we got on this planet, it's all gonna boil down to how much did you create. That's gonna be the most significant part of your legacy.
That's
true.
You
see what I mean?
That's what a legacy is. It's the remnants that you left behind. If you didn't create, you didn't leave nothing behind.
And a lot of people just really think they got time. It just
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
And just like
people think they really have a shit ton of time, and you really don't. I'm 34 right now. How old are you?
39.
39, brother. That is gonna double very quickly.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Very quick. If this time went by fast,
because right now, me and you both, we still have the young stamina. the young
Exactly.
let's go, let's get it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah, we
and
got
that
to get
and
it.
that
We
and
got
that's
to
that's a mindset that helps
Yeah.
keeps the spirit young.
Facts.
And
Oh, yeah.
most importantly, the mind, because the mind is the muscle that's kind of generating all this shit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to acquire an idea and then produce like and go against all mechanical issues that really stop a lot of people from moving. You see what I mean?
Exactly, yeah,
All those things that
yeah.
people fight before
Facts.
they actually, like I say, make that decision, press the button, get those things done. All those discomfortable things. And it's like, but that only lasts for so long.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
And plus, we willing to be adaptable and deal with it as it comes, because you got to remember, in certain situations, if 90 to 100% of the time, I'm not paying attention to the bad that can go on with this.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because I've done my research, I've looked at it, so by that time, I'm very confident that this is going to work. If I get a hiccup, I'm not gonna trip.
But you it's certain, to me, I think it's a certain level of appreciation too.
Yes,
at the same time.
and you do. You appreciate the hiccup because you like, okay, oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, but I learned it now. We good. So now we're gonna take this,
Boom,
and we going up high, and we gonna apply this to the next level that we at.
I ain't gonna lie to you too.
Yeah.
In certain things, sometimes with certain things,
Yeah.
I like when the roadblock is even harder to pass.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love those.
I agree with you.
I love those
Yeah.
because I know most people don't have enough in them
Come on, dog.
to make it past that roadblock.
Because they see the wall and they stop.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
I feel you, bro.
I try to build most of my foundation off of going through roadblocks that I know most people is not don't care enough to put the time and energy into. You see what I mean?
And you know, that's been one of my driving sources to do everything that I'm doing too. I know I talked about my grandfather earlier, but
Me too, my
keeping
grandfather.
yeah, man. But keeping that motivation when you literally look at other people and they're saying no, when you know there clearly is a yes to this,
Right.
or there is a solution to, like,
right.
you not just sitting down
right.
accepting the fact
Right.
that, oh shit,
Right.
I can't do this just
Right.
because you said
Right.
it can't be done.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm telling you, I would be rich from some of the people I hang around now, because I've heard excuse after excuse after excuse. But then when I do something, it's like, dang, Jeff, you done this already? Yeah, man, it wasn't that hard. Oh man, congratulations, nigga, you could have been with that congratulations with me if you would have just put that foot forward and did it. If you would have just said, all right, I can eat this up. I can eat this small little cost. I can chop this up real quick for the sake of experimentation. Do you know how much money I have spent on just experimenting on certain things to see if it was going to fit? And you know what I did? I passed that shit right along to somebody who was like, oh man, you know, I'd be great if I use this. Yeah, go ahead. You use it because I don't need it.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
it might work for you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's cool. It just didn't work for me and what I wanted. So I gave so much shit away, done certain so much
shit,
stuff.
bro.
Because dog, when you see perfection and it sucks, sometimes it pains you.
You do.
When you're around other people that you can't even have an intelligent conversation with.
Oh yeah.
About getting to the end game with.
Oh yeah.
Bruh, it has gotten to the point now. If we ain't talking like this on a certain level, I will dismiss the conversation.
If you too tapped in. You're too
done.
far in the deep end.
Dog, I'm telling you.
You can't talk about when you're so far in the deep end, you cannot talk shallow shit.
Dog, you just can't.
You know?
And it's terrible because you start looking around, you like, bro, I know we can do this better. But then you get, and then you get hit with your people sometimes. They're like, well, you know, it's all in timing and all. No, the time is now to strike in, to do, and to experiment and implement something that could possibly change the game.
Right now.
But because you want to operate in your fears and you think that you can't do it. This
weak ass comfort zone, right?
That's what it is, dog.
Weak ass comfort zone.
Weak ass comfort zone. Oh, wait.
Quit being so fucking scared. Hey, if you scared, go to church.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know?
And sometimes you got to watch out, because sometimes that prayer that you think that you praying for, that ain't going to help you either because you don't believe it.
Sometimes you got to start knowing. You got to know.
Now that's key, brother.
You got to know.
You got to know.
You have to move with certainty.
Come on,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? You have to move with certainty.
Got to.
You know, and people, I don't understand people. Everybody want to be financially independent.
Dog, everybody.
Success and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But don't want to go through no point of the struggle and the transition and the learning process, the training process, and stuff like that, and or the pain.
Or the pain.
You know, so but they want to stick. They want to attach themselves to you, right? And that's what happens. That's what happens.
I'm going to be very honest when I say this. Okay, to any of y'all, now I gotta look in the camera when I say this. I feel like I'm on my show, definitely. Be careful, people, that you are not the only one doing the only things that it takes to be successful in your group. Mm-hmm. Because there will people that will leech off you. There are people that will mooch off you. There will people that will do anything they can to latch themselves onto you because they know you are the ones with the money. You are the ones with the opportunity. You are the one that is actually putting in the work. So that way, when you set yourself in front of other people, they just want to be noticed because they automatically know that you will get noticed. Mm-hmm. Weed those people out. Yeah. And if you have those people in your group, what I do is I'm going to just be real, and I don't care if they watching, I don't care if they do pay attention to it. They probably will watch because they'll support a brother. But the thing is, sometimes I like to make my people work.
Yeah.
And I will say that, and I'm saying this because I love y'all, but the thing is, sometimes you got to know what it is. Don't bank on me that I'm going to make it easy for you.
Exactly.
Because if I make it easy for you, you ain't learned shit.
Exactly.
You're saying you want to do the same stuff I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to do the same stuff I'm doing, you at least have to be where I was at in order to show me that you are capable and have enough wherewithal to be in the trenches and that you can get it done. Mm-hmm. If you have not shown me that, you cannot be a part of the team. You just can't be. But I was faced with a situation one time where my people asked me, "Well, Jeff, you don't believe in us?" Well, kind of, sort of, kind of. That's it. It's like I love what you're doing. I love what y'all say y'all can do, but it's time to stop talking about what you can do. Mm-hmm. It's time to stop saying, "Oh, well, I did this for ABC." I don't give a damn how many years you did that. What are you doing now?
What have you done for me lately?
Recently.
Quit talk. Look, you have to get to the point where you produce so fucking much, you fucking forget the shit you done did.
Bruh.
You didn't. I don't.
Bro.
Like.
For real.
Last year is last year.
Lying.
I don't care what you did.
Come on, dog.
And you got a nerve to be talking about 10 years ago?
Dog.
The fuck?
See, dog, I walk out right now. Walk out right now because that hit so heavy, bro.
Hey, we don't give a fuck what you did 10 years ago.
We don't care.
We barely care about last year. What are you doing now?
Now.
The world is changing right now.
Come on. That's it.
You either gonna get down or lay down because it's gonna get real bad for people economically. Because this we can't even joke around. Like it's about to get real bad for people economically.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, if you're not in position of power on actually knowing the money game. Yeah. See the things that we do because we like to do it. That's one thing, but you still gotta buy time to actually just know and play the money game itself. Yeah. Instead, because a lot of times we fall victim of trying to make what we do make money instead of just making money.
Exactly. Come on, dog. That's it, dog.
You see me?
Just make the money.
And because we focus on, we focus on making the money and using the money to make more money, we stay in a position to have the time, have the energy to do all the extra shit that we're doing. That happen to still make money too, but we're not. You know, we're not benefiting off. I'm sorry, we're not depending on just that particular thing because that can change at any point in time.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
And that's what we we can't put your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify everything.
You do.
Our portfolios, our skill sets. You know, the people, our groups, everything. You know, it's. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little racist to black people.
Okay.
Because in business. Meaning that personally, I love us.
Yeah.
You know, in business, I understand. I know that we don't know a lot of shit.
And that's true.
You know,
That's
in
true.
business, I know that most people don't know. Most of our people don't know shit about shit with business. But the problem is, we are in a world of information and social media that now the majority of our people actually believe that we know more than we think that we know.
Exactly. And that's what it is. Because anybody can get on TikTok or Facebook.
Self-validation.
Yes, sell validation. It's not about selling validation. Now, don't get me wrong. I can motivate you with the best of them. But I'm not about to sit up here and tell you you can build that house or do whatever, and I ain't give you no keys.
You gotta have the key. The key.
You gotta have some keys.
Those keys is important. You know,
keys are very important.
It's a lot of talk about people selling their courses and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
I teach you how to scale your business and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of red flags you should be able to pick up on, but
Yeah.
we don't have the tools based upon because we lack the experience in business to be able to see like that shit.
And majority of the
That
shit
shit
ain't
fool.
even game. You pay somebody to say, hey, take my free course, but then there's always an upsell.
A big upsell.
Big upsell.
I'm talking about
Like,
niggas always talking about they ain't got no money, but then you see the money they be spending with these niggas,
bro, dog, 5, 10 grand.
and but they come to you and they want the shit free. Fuck you.
Let's walk out. It's time to
Fuck
walk out.
you.
'Cause that's what they want. Bro, that's what they want.
Fuck you. And that's we
Yeah.
talked about that before. It's that
We did.
distance. It's that distance.
Yes, that distance.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna spend the money, you know, with people that are not directly close to them, that they can't touch and feel.
Exactly.
You see what I mean? But if you it don't matter how sick you could be, nigga. You could have the real game. Be doing it
Yeah.
right in front of them.
Right in front of them.
They gonna go put the money in that nigga pocket.
Always.
They gonna support that nigga.
Always.
You see what I mean? I don't know what it is about
Yeah.
that.
Like, it took so much time for even with our group, and I just tell this story. It took, like, I remember I told you I was fighting my cousin with that camera stuff, and he finally said I was right. But it wasn't what I was looking for, but it's what the hell I needed to hear.
Right.
Because it's like, dog, just take the advice when it's given to you.
Yeah.
Somebody ahead of you has taken the time to do the research, put in the time, had the sleepless nights, and wants to give you the game. And this was a small piece of the game. Mind you, when we start talking about this is basic level, whatever it is that's going to fit your need type content creation.
Yeah.
This wasn't even rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
This was just looking at what everybody else was doing and saying, hey, big dog, the stuff you watch now, you know they do this exact same thing.
Right.
Well, you know, Jeff, I don't know, man. I think that's kind of okay. If you could watch Fresh and Fit and the rest of them and they doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm doing the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't going to believe it's right till Fresh and Fit said, okay, big dog,
Mm-hmm.
keep spinning your wheels, keep pondering, keep wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
Because the product that I end up putting out, and I still have more to put out with the product, we're not done with what we're adding to. We're not done with how we want to scale it. Yo, this is all just these are just prototypes to shoot out to people to see if they'll bite. Sometimes, you know, when you have something, you know somebody gonna bite. You know somebody gonna bite because you have taken the time to look at the rates, so you're being competitive. You have taken the time to look at what people want and how they wish to be highlighted, and also what type of content they want to offer. I'll give you one of the strategies that I have. I'm just doing this because I'm on the show, and I can give some people some game here.
Here go the sauce.
And I can let them know.
Go the sauce, y'all.
Part of it is when you have built your audience, you have built your criteria of learning. That is your niche.
Yes.
That is simply your niche. And the thing is, you want to know why people come to Life Coach Jeff? Because I am being Life Coach Jeff.
Yeah, right.
Now, that's another part of it, too.
Right.
While you focus on your niche, you have to remember, don't be somebody else
Right.
just because of all the other shit that you see that's catching.
Right.
Your time is going to catch.
Oh, they winning. Let me change. Let me do this.
Exactly.
Or let me do what he doing. No.
Nah, that's not what you need to do. If you already have an audience, that means people want to listen. So you have to go to the people that want to listen to you. Or if you have a message such as myself that's universal, it's a universal message. I found a way to sit down. Like I told you, I sat in front of the other drug dealers and all that other stuff. They didn't come on the show, and I talked to them face to face. And when they don't care about where I'm from at this point. They're not looking at my background.
Right.
What they care about is the conversation that we having and how we're relating to each other. That's all the shit that matters.
Yeah.
So people, just be relatable. That's just be relatable. If you be relatable, you be you, and you don't focus on the dollar amount too.
Right.
In the beginning stages.
You can't.
You can't.
That's another big mistake niggas
bro,
be making.
The dollar amount.
How you trying to sell some shit you ain't even built yet?
How? I don't get it. It don't make no sense. You're telling me you're valuing something at $300, but you ain't giving me no quality to show me that it's worth me $300 paid. Now I done paid somebody some money for an interview off because out of love. You feel me? I done it out of love. Now honestly, did I feel like it was worth that? No, I didn't feel like it was worth that because of what they was giving me.
They don't know how to even that it's a false evaluation.
Yeah, false evaluation.
In any business with any product or any service, you have to have proof of service.
Yeah.
You have to have a portfolio. Okay. If you're a photographer, you're fishing for clients. You have something called a website. A lot of people just on Instagram, stuff like wherever your portfolio is at with your body of work.
Your body of work.
Right?
Leave the breadcrumbs, people.
If you have the body of work, that's what and it's at standard or above standard, within your compared competitors, then you'll get the money that's worth based upon the evaluation of that. But you have to produce something first. And in the beginning, you are paying into your business.
Come on.
You see what I mean? You have to put it like this. I have a 10 and win strategy.
Okay.
So my 10 and win strategy, I've been doing this, subconsciously and consciously all my life in business.
Yeah.
My 10 and win is this. If I'm jumping in a new field, I plan to get good real fast, right?
Yeah, get good.
But I hide. It depends on what it is. I'll hide my process, meaning that when I say I would hide my process, I might expose my process later when that's ready, because your experience can be packaged and sold later, right?
Exactly.
Right. But not in the beginning.
But not in the beginning.
Because
in the beginning.
In the beginning phase, first impression is best impression.
Yep.
So you don't want to pump your work out there while you still getting fit. You see what I mean? You don't want to pump your work out there doing, when you're ironing out the kinks.
That's
you see
it.
what I mean?
Yep.
You want to get your shit decent first. You see what I mean?
Get it decent.
And you're not gonna get there until you put time in. So you need subjects. So 10 and win means you need to commit to doing, if it's interviews, like for interviews right now.
Yeah.
I'm committed to 10 interviews, right? You're now the third.
Okay.
So I got 7 more left. 10 interviews, right?
There you go.
And now guess what I'm gonna have after that? 10 interviews, 10 products, 10 proofs of service.
Come on.
You see what I mean?
And that's why I like this game of the podcasting arena, because when you're trying to market yourself and your brand or your business, that's your receipt right there.
Exactly.
And all you have to do is be consistent. Where people fall off is they're not as consistent.
You could trick yourself to do that too.
Exactly. You could trick yourself to do that because you think you're good at one spot. So let's say for instance you got to your 10. You were like, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna let these 10 ride and see where it go. But you can't let the 10 ride, because once you get the first 10 done, people are looking for the next 10. Right.
So you're saying, okay, when you say let the first 10 ride, I think this is what you're talking about. This is a very good key, right?
Yeah, come on.
So, and I'm only giving a certain level of my strategy with this because we're live with it. But, some things can't be replicated. You got to put the work in, right?
Yep, you got to put the work in.
This is safe.
That's it.
So in real time, this is what we're doing right now, right?
That's what we're doing right now, yeah.
Because, remember, I didn't bring you back on until I still leveled up with it.
Exactly. That was it.
Remember, I never released.
You never released that first one.
This is 6 months.
That's right. And it was a different style too. What it was you were behind the camera and you were asked the question. You weren't on the camera at all.
Yeah, and
I wanted to do it in a different way and portray it.
I was gonna do it that, and then remember that other technology. I remember constant technology.
Yes, yep.
Where I was building the room, through the AI.
Now hold on, y'all. I got to speak on that because that was dope.
See,
I had never seen nothing like that before. This dude set up into, I'm in my kitchen right now. Like, what? What you talking about? That ain't no kitchen beat. But anyway, but that was dope. That was hot.
I liked it. But again, so what happens is sometimes that's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
My creativity can be my strength and my weakness. You
Okay.
see what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Because based upon now, we both agree that was dope. It was amazing. It was cool as fuck. Right?
It was cool how you did it.
It did not complement what I was trying to do.
Exactly. And I agree. Because when you look at this now and you look at what that idea was, it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Solid idea. It made sense for what you were trying to portray and what we were talking about at that moment in time.
Yeah.
But this is the vision.
This is it.
This is the vision.
So I had to completely reset, go back to the drawing board,
Yeah.
and start from scratch.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I took about a month off to reconsider, reevaluate.
Okay. I got you.
You see what I mean? Because at that point, I already put in what I intended to put in, not expecting to have to put in more or change and completely switch the whole game up, right?
And that's true.
So I had to reset. You know, regroup, refocus.
Redirect, regroup, refocus.
Redirect, regroup, and refocus.
There you go.
That's a science. I use that a lot.
Oh,
you see what I mean?
yeah,
No, seriously.
yeah. No, I
you know,
feel
because
you.
you have to. There's times you have to do that and just go because I got other shit on the board at the same time, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't let this exhaust and pull from other stuff that's already on the board.
That's it,
you see what I
bro.
mean?
That's it,
so
bro.
I got nothing but time. What I'm rushing for. Right? Don't nobody know about this because I'm coming out the woodwork with this shit.
That's
You
it,
see what
bro.
I mean? Don't
Come
nobody know about this.
That's it.
You see what I mean? So as far as I know, this shit came out of nowhere. They don't know about the process.
Exactly.
That game sold separately.
And that's how you got to do it, man. Like even with me when I'm doing behind the radio station and everything, people don't know the back end with that. All they know is that I have it. So when you come in, I tell you, I give you the instruction what to do, and boom, bada bam, you're happy. You know, that's how it should be.
And that's how it is.
That's how it should be.
Don't ask me how, ask me how much.
You go. Don't ask me how. Ask me how much. I tell you how much. You probably gonna be like, oh my God, that's good. And then we get you on board, and you happy, and everybody.
That's that. So my thing was outside of just establishing everything, then adding the creative concepts to it and doing something different than other people were doing, adding that twist to it.
Yeah.
All right, now, but I still need time in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you still need time.
I'm all about expedition with time. Like I want to hurry up and get my experience as soon as possible.
Okay, I got you.
I'd rather grind out for the rest of the month. I was gonna do a whole party. Like fuck it, we lined up.
Okay, we was just gonna have them come on.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? That's how I work.
Okay,
you
now,
see
see,
what I
I
mean?
like that. That's not a bad idea, too.
Yeah, I probably do one party.
do that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and then, but I'm because all I'm doing is, and it's still. This is my donation too at the same time because I invest in the people that I fuck with.
Fact.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm still, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still building up my credit points and my friendship points. You see what I mean?
There you go.
That's how it works.
Exactly. That's how it works.
So it's like, all right, that's how you do shit. You know what I'm saying? Your relationships is your influence and your resource, your human resource.
That's it, bro.
So I'm just utilizing my human resources, something that could benefit us all, while still utilizing that as an opportunity to master the system and the setup. You see what I mean?
That's true.
So now, by the time the 10 is done, whatever kinks that was in it, it ain't gonna be no more kinks no more. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
So now we ready.
Yeah, you ready.
So now when you say, now back to your point, when you say you let it ride, some people load up their shots and let them all go all at once.
Now I used to do that.
Bruh.
I used to be terrible at it, bro. I used to be terrible at it.
I be having to tell no, don't post your whole shit.
Yeah.
Drip feed that shit.
Drip feed it.
Drip feed that. Because if you imagine you got 10 episodes, and okay. Well, now of course you got that one episode, right? Okay, the main platform. Let's say if it's YouTube, you see what I mean. That's where you're gonna premiere the full episode at, right?
Exactly.
But you're still not leveraging the. You drop the premiere, but you have to leverage the actual content of the premiere to promote the premiere.
Exactly.
So that's where you chop up the reels.
Yeah, you got to chop up the reels.
So you get about 5 to 6 good depending on what it is. You chop those motherfuckers up and then you drip feed those, throw those in the water. Here go one a day.
Yep.
Boom. Another one next week. Boom. Another one next week. You see what I mean? Drip feed because when you throw that rod out, let that motherfucker ride for a few days. Sometime the whole week, that one reel might take off.
Yeah, that might be the one.
But just make sure you already got the place set up.
Because if
And
you don't got the shit line, if you don't got the target up on the wall,
Yep.
you just wasted your goddamn bullets because you got 1 million viewers on your reel, but nowhere to redirect them to.
Exactly.
Redirect and refocus.
There you go.
Where you redirect? Okay, they like you. Now,
like you,
where
yep.
did they find you at?
Uh-huh.
Where did they find
That's
you at?
it, bro. Where they find
Where
you
can
at.
they find? Where can they watch the full episode?
Uh-huh.
Where can they learn
That's it.
more?
Yep.
People they just drop. I say no. That 10 episodes should last you 10 months.
Of content.
Yes.
Oh yeah, dog. Oh yeah, 10
Yes.
months of content, definitely.
10 months.
And
That's
honestly,
that's a whole year.
yeah, a whole year of content because it's like when you even like when I sit up here and I do my hour-long episodes, I look at so much that I get out of that Joker, and I'll be like, damn man, if I was really like in it, and I mean I'm talking about like you say, drip feeding the content.
Yeah.
The only reason the reason why they keep coming back and watch is because of the guests. That's what it is. It's because of the guests. I try to leverage the guests as much as possible and get some diversity in there. So now one day we not gonna have rappers all the time. We not gonna have singers. Like I just wrapped up something with the authors and everything, and they really ended up liking that one because it was a different dynamic. They were getting the book sense out of it, blah blah blah. So that's what I try to do because honestly, like we talked about earlier, the one-man show. I used to have somebody that was doing the content for me. I love you. I just had to kind of switch what I was going to do with you because
Reposition.
I need to reposition you because you work better where you're at now.
Yeah.
Having to give me that content,
Yeah.
that would still be on me.
You got to reposition your team.
So I had to reposition the team, and I was willing to let that part go because I said I could put my all into the show. Now that's what I wasn't scared to do. I was not scared to reposition, let something go so I can give something else more of my time.
Exactly.
So that way it can make sense to not just myself, but the people that's watching. So then when I go back to them, now that I got all this, now I have majority of the content in the episodes. Now I can go back in them bad boys and pull it out at any time now.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what's good about
anytime,
it.
yeah.
I can go back anytime and
anytime.
pull it. So that's why I try to put so much into the interviews.
Yeah.
I put so much into the live events. So that way when I do that, now they've watched it, they can see it, but then you might throw something out there just to show them a reminder. You know, I interviewed this person, or your boy was at this event. We went live here. Oh, we met these people, A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. We got the skinny on them. I sat up here. I didn't even realize I had Stoney Staples' number. Didn't even realize who this brother was. Like, real talk. I just met him. In my eyes, I met him for the first time on Saturday. But somewhere down the line, we crossed paths, and I had his number. Like, bro, I've been networking, talking to so many people. You talking about you forget the work that you do. You be so immersed. Bro, I be so immersed with networking with people, I forget I have numbers. Like, bro, I forget some of these people. And some of these people, some of them are heavy, some of them aren't. Some people I'm willing to help out who trying to get a leg and foot in the door because of now I'm understanding some of the people I'm connected to and what they're a part of and what they can offer some people. So if I say, hey, I want you to do this show, it's for a reason, and I say, hey, get this person to call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I enjoy being the segue
Gotcha.
for people.
100%.
So that way.
It's a
they can-
network, bro.
Yeah, and
It's a
I
network.
bro, and I love
It's
that
a
part.
network.
I love
Yeah.
that part because I feel like I'm really helping people.
Yeah.
I really feel like I'm not just giving you exposure, but I'm trying to show you an avenue you can go down.
Exactly.
You can pick it, choose it, do whatever you want with it. I'm choosing to go full-fledged with some of these because some of these is just being in the room.
100%.
It's I can develop the friendships, I can do that, but at the end of the day, because I know when I get to a certain point, somebody is going to use me for the room that I can put them in.
100%.
It's going to come full circle.
They do. Yeah.
So while somebody is allowing me to have an opportunity to use them for the room, let me take advantage of it.
Utilize your human resources, people.
You got to.
Human resources.
Got to.
Don't misuse. Utilize.
Utilize it.
Utilize.
There's a difference.
Utilization.
Come on.
You know,
difference.
And use it. I think that a lot of us, some of us, call upon resources prematurely.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
I feel you.
And
on
you'll
that.
fuck around, they fuck up a contact.
I feel you on
Because
that. Yeah.
you weren't even ready to make that call.
Because
You
he
know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
ready. And that's what I've noticed with some of the people that I've had to look at. I had to say, you know what, okay, we had certain conversations about, hey, setting this up, lining this up, but it just wasn't the right time to strike.
Yeah, because
you
got to be ready though.
Because you got to be ready. Yeah,
The big dogs don't want to hold your hand.
because I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's no use in having a great idea, but putting out a piss poor product.
100%. Cheers to that, motherfucker.
And when I say that, it's because even when and I share this. I did my Father's Day event. Remember when I did the all men's event? I said I was gonna do that. I don't know. Do you remember that? It was a day in the man cave. I was gonna do a day in the man cave.
Okay.
That did not go as planned.
No. Okay.
I did poor planning.
Okay.
It was rushed. I did it on the weekend of Father's Day,
Okay.
which was not a good idea.
Okay.
Because everybody is out with their dads, they eating, they going out to breakfast. I sat up here. The time was from 11 to 3.
Okay.
Not a good time.
No.
Again,
Was it
weekend
a
of
Sunday?
Father's Day.
Was it a Sunday?
It was on Saturday.
Okay.
Still, you got people coming in. Maybe they couldn't do nothing. Maybe they had the whole weekend blocked out. Everything was still packed. I learned from that. And I said, you know what? Even though it got good reviews, and people don't get reviews mixed up with your timing. Because anything you do can be great, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to do it now. So what I did was I took the reviews from that. I said, okay, I got good response. So I know I put it in my back pocket. I know I can do it again. But I have a different concept. I'm going to tell you about that concept when we get off here. But I have a different concept with what I want to do and how I want to bring certain people to the table. Like we talked about utilizing influencers, right?
100%. Yeah.
If I do that to the advantage, that will be that push. But you got to know how you putting them. You got to know where you placing them.
You gotta have your court set up.
Come on, gotta have the court set up.
All bases loaded.
There it is. So that's what I'm learning. And again, you taught me that, sir. You taught me to kind of pull back a little bit, look at some things, and to really just hit and to be strategic with your playing field. Yeah. Because dog, I'm trying to tell you, the way I look at people now is totally different. If you remember when we was doing everything, what was that with the The Cure? When we did it with The Cure and everything, I took a few lessons out of that.
So do we all.
Yes, we are. I believe all 4 of us took lessons. 5 of us. We all took lessons from that Joker. Yeah. And we pulled back a little bit and we said, all right, let's just see what we got. And what I took out, speaking for myself, what I took out of it, I said, what more can I offer this group? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I know I'm Life Coach Jeff, and I know I have something. And even with y'all, y'all saying, y'all telling me what y'all see, but I had to put myself in a different area in an arena to see that within myself. Gotcha. And that's what took the time, bro.
I got you.
Because y'all can tell me where I'm supposed to be. Y'all can tell me how I look, but unless I do it myself, bro, I won't have nothing to offer y'all at the end of the day.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't have nothing to offer y'all.
I understand. I understand. Okay. Well, yeah, and I 100% agree. 100% agree. I mean, because you don't know until you know. You got to get on the court and really get out there and place yourself in the outfield. Master the infield and just kind of see where you need to be at. Where you need to be at in both sides. Yeah. And now from there, seeing who else you need to be in position on that field with you, right? Because now it's team management and team leveraging at this point.
Exactly.
I mean, because even when you said you took a hit on the content to move one associate around and stuff like that, one partner around, because they're better at this particular task or thing. That thing still needs to be in production. That wheel still needs to be spinning at some point, right? Because at some point everything needs to go full, because everything is a key component to the engine. You see what I mean? Facts. Yep. Everything is a key component. And I'll talk to you about. I got stuff for you on that too.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? That's the off camera sauce.
And see, I'm gonna tell you something. This is why I love talking to this man because every time it's always something, man. Even if it's by way of me giving you some type of motivation or something like that, or you having to get something out or talk about it and whatnot. We help each other on those 2 levels. That's why I love the dynamic of our relationship. And the thing is, everybody always thinks you got to talk to people every day, all the time. This is why I like the friendship that we have, because, bruh, that shark mentality, you I'm trying to tell y'all, my man showed me that I was a little fish, and I'm serious, and I'm grateful for that, dog, because it was certain things that you would say, certain ways that you would move, and it made me look at myself and say, okay, if you want to take Life Coach Jeff to a different level, how do you position yourself? How do you put yourself in these rooms with these people? How do you make yourself stand out from everybody else here? You know,
you wouldn't see it though until you start jumping in the waters with the fish, right?
And that's what it was.
Now you're identifying other fish.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Oh yeah, because like I told you, man, when I go out and I network now, like I can talk to anybody, bro. But I'm looking to see who everybody else is talking to or trying to get a hold of. And 9 times out of 10, if I'm able to do that, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You'll have certain groups of people where it's very easy to do that in because you'll find out that everybody is kind of on the same level.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of on the same level. So when you start looking around, you like, okay, so now this is quote unquote, this is a popularity contest.
Exactly.
So now all I have to do is I have to line myself up with the most popular people in the room. And then that will also get me looks, views, and following. But now we are starting to reach a point to where it's starting to dry up a little bit. So see, when that's starting to dry up, now you have to ask yourself, what is the next tier? Now the next tier, these are the people that's only gonna step out at certain events.
They in the back.
They in the back.
You know?
That's right. They in the back.
They ain't really selling you on shit.
Yep.
You know, you just gotta be able to spot
exactly.
Now, but you have to know how to dim those lights that are flashing in front of you to be able to identify.
Because so many people get starstruck.
They never make it out of that, bro.
And they
never make it out that.
Because that is the thing. Like even with my boy Sinatra. Shout out to Sinatra. He one of the rappers in Chicago. You heard of Sinatra?
Sound familiar?
Yeah, I think you might have heard of him. He just did a show. My thing is, all I'm gonna do is tell Big Dog you did a good job. You know, because he knows I've been following him. He knows I want him on the show, but it was some stuff that I was trying to see what he was doing first.
Gotcha.
I wanted to see how hard he was going in. I had Queen Jay Ashari on the show. Now, Queen Jay Ashari is dope. She a dope female artist. I don't know if you heard of her, but she travels. She been going around the country doing other stuff. That's my Ace Boon Coon right there. She good with what she on. So, but with Sinatra's, I had to see what he was planning, how he was planning it. And I said, okay, now after he did his show, now I can have him on because of the hype of the show.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's certain times you want to put people on.
The politics of it.
It's the politics of it. And to an extent, he probably knew that. But, you know, I'm not trying to blow no smoke either. You still got to be a man in your word. When you tell certain people they coming on, get them on.
Well, yeah, that's another thing too. I wanted to definitely add to that. You know, just I want to give anybody the opportunity that has something to offer. You see what I mean? Whether they have the clout or not. You see what I mean? Because I think some of the best people, some of the most intelligent people are overshadowed. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So while still, of course, leveraging to, you know, some big fish in the game or heavy influencers to help, you know, make it an even bigger platform for the benefit of everybody's influence. But I always want to make sure there's a segue and opportunity for somebody, for people to tap in that have the value in them, you know.
Fact, bro. Yeah,
for sure. But all right, this could be a dope one, bro.
Yes, sir.
This is a dope one.
I really enjoyed this today.
This is definitely I enjoyed this for sure. I think we definitely tapped into a lot of different areas. Just on our general communication conversation,
definitely
people are listening to what we're saying and able to decode certain things, you know, because we can't say everything.
Yeah, we can't.
You know, it was a lot of it was a lot of key points in this conversation.
There really was.
And we're speaking from a place. We're speaking from the dungeon. The dungeon is Chicago. You know, Chicago is behind on a lot of different things in a lot of different industries.
Yep.
The mentality is behind. The mentality is suppressed.
Greatly suppressed.
You know, I mean, just time-wise, you know, like it's almost like when you visit a third world country. You know what I'm saying? That's how Chicago is. It's like you leave here, you go Atlanta, LA.
bruh. They are literally 10x in everything.
So far ahead. The thinking, the actions, the arenas, the networking, and stuff like that.
Networking is brutal down
because
there.
we suck at networking.
Oh, dog.
We suck at networking.
Yeah,
we do not utilize our network. We do not utilize our human resources.
Not at all.
You know, we do not appreciate relationships. We do not take time to establish and nurture relationships.
That's it.
You see what I mean? So we really don't have anything to build on because everybody kind of